for myself, trying to prove my existence. I wouldn't listen to nobody else. But then time caught up with my plans. And when the day broke, it exposed me for the fool that I really am. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, yeah. So I can feed you from a good and precious land. All my eyes have seen, you're all I need, you're all I need, yeah. So now I'm learning to walk in your steps, and through the valley of confusion I've been losing my apprehension with death. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, so I can feed you from a good and precious land. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for your love. And all my eyes have seen the wonders of your mystery received. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life.
What's up, everybody? We are live on a Tuesday night. I hope everybody can hear us. If you're in the chat right now, let me know if you can hear us. We are having some issues with our mixer. We weren't hearing that standby video in the beginning. So if you're in the chat, please chime in. Let us know if you are getting this audio and you can hear us live right now. Shout out to the people in there. We see people already chiming in, tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends. Let us know if you can see and hear us right now. And we will continue with the chat. Let me see. I don't see anybody yet. You can hear us? Okay, so we are live. All right, good. Good. What's up, everybody? We are live. It's Tuesday night. We're going to get into some topics this evening. Of course, we got to talk about the amazing Charlie Kirk Memorial that happened over the weekend. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. I mean, they just made a major announcement with the FDA and linking acetaminophen to autism. There was also Trump was at the UN and he kind of just let them have it a little bit. Kimmel is coming back on the air tonight, and of course there's a whole saga with all that. Everybody trying to blame and point fingers and all of that stuff. We're going to get into that stuff and a lot more. You're here. You're with us. You are watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Yes. That is the intro. Hopefully you heard it. We didn't hear it, but hopefully you did.
I hear that horn loud and clear.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's coming, but that's also coming from over there. So if we're hearing that, we should be able. I don't know why we're not hearing the videos. Something's going on there. Gotta figure that out.
Something wonky.
Yeah, something wonky going on, but we'll figure that out another time. Again,
Uncle
if you guys,
Denny, what's up?
if you guys are in the chat, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends, because the algorithm has never been favorable to us. As we can tell, we just got that notification today that Google admitted that they were censoring people for the Biden administration, and they're going to allow people back on the platform now. They got banned, especially after the 2020 election. Remember when they were banning people for saying that the election was rigged and COVID misinformation, all these things. So they're gonna they just testified in front of Congress today and admitted that they censored people on behalf of the Biden administration. That was a bombshell.
I mean, nobody's surprised.
Nobody's surprised, but it's just funny because everything that they're trying to claim Trump is doing, they've been doing, and it's just it's amazing. But we're here. We're in the Lion's Den right now. Again, this is the Young Lion TV podcast. If you're new here, this is just conversations that we have with each other. We are just like friends, brothers, and we've been together for a very long time, having conversations and talking about issues, culture, politics, relationships, everything. Trying to be better fathers, better husbands, better brothers to one another, better sons. And, all of those things have led us to this podcast many years ago, just trying to give an example of men who think different and try to change culture out there, give a different example to the men that we had in our lives growing up who kind of pushed, a lot of the things that got us indoctrinated into the spells and a lot of the things that we were victims of growing up. So we started this to kind of show that example and have a place for people to see other kind of conversations not from the typical buttoned up, conservative suit wearing guy. And there's a place for that, the Charlie Kirks of the world and the Turning Point USA. But this was like, regular dudes that you might know in your circles or that you grew up with that are having these conversations and thinking different. So if that's something that you want to support, all that to say, get on over there, sign up for the Patreon, become a member of the Young Lion, support what we do, keep these conversations going, because it's important to get culture changed and to continue this movement that's been happening, this revival that we're seeing, because this is a faith-based podcast. We talk about Jesus all the time. We talk about scripture. We talk about the word, because all of that has influenced how we have grown and changed our perspective on things as well. So get on over to Patreon, support that right now. Also, you can get the merch on our band's website, which is jatan.com/shop. And if you want to just throw a little donation, the CashApp is in the description as well. Last but not least, we have a show coming up. If you want to come see us live and hear some music that we wrote, and come have a great time, meet us, hang out with the Young Lions. They'll all be in the building. It's at the City Winery in Philadelphia. If you're in the Philadelphia area, it's November 1st at the City Winery. You can get the tickets over at citywinery.com/Philadelphia, and just look up Jatan in there over there, and look on or you can go to the date, November 1st. You'll see our tickets link there, and then you can get tickets to the show. Come see us live. It's going to be a great event. We've done City Winery multiple times now. Every time, everybody has a great time. So we hope to see you guys there. Other than that, I got to shout out who's here with me this evening. I got my brother in the building. He is the coolest Asian in the podcast land. He is my brother. I've known him many, many years. I've known you longer than I haven't known you at this point in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I met you when I was 16.
Yes.
And I've known you for like how many years now? Almost 30. Almost 30 years.
It's a long time, my brother.
We've known each other a long time, man. We've seen a lot, been so many places in our life and time, sang a lot of songs.
Sang a lot of songs.
This is my brother Simone Chang in the building.
What's up?
He's here.
I look dark as heck, man.
That's just on that screen. You don't look dark on the
No?
the stream. No.
I got burnt. I was at that Union game.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, Noah had the varsity team had a game out in front of they had like this big complex, sports complex, and had a game versus Timber Creek out there. We went to watch the game, and then the Union game. We tailgated, and then the Union game. It was hot, bro.
Was it?
It did not feel like fall. That sun was
the weather has been like so hard to dress for.
It's so weird.
It's been like cold in the morning.
Cool in the morning.
And
it reminds me of California.
Yeah. And then it gets super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to plan your day out for that. But also, we got to shout out the best producer in the world. She's over here. She's ready to switch the cameras, bring up the clips. And hopefully, if Jake calls in today, he's supposed to call in. Shout out to Jake. He had a big branch fall in his driveway. He's got to clean that up before he was supposed to be here, but now he's going to try to call in. But shout out to him, and also shout out to you, my mom. We love her, Miss Angeli Lopez, producing this evening.
Show your shirt real fast.
Oh, my sir.
Show your shirt, Mom.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ in the Coca-Cola font.
It says, "You will never thirst."
You'll never thirst. Yeah.
Enjoy Jesus Christ. Yes. You'll never thirst.
Yes.
Oh, do I hear? I think I hear Jake. Are you on, Jake? Oh, Jake is there. Jake is there. Can you pull him up, Mom? Yeah, I knew I heard somebody on there. Shout out to Jake. He is in the building here with us. We were just talking about how you might call in. You got that cleaned up kind of fast, didn't you? Huh?
No car damage? Oh, now we can't hear him.
Now we can't hear you. Did you mute?
Yeah. I was already into doing it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Denny and Papa Jeff. We see both of you guys in the chat again. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share this video.
Papa Jeff is at my house right now.
Yeah.
He's too scared to come on and
come on, Pop. You don't gotta be scared. Nothing to be scared about. Nah, he wouldn't.
I'm joking.
The topics we're talking about tonight, he wouldn't even be debating about. Yeah. He would have some great insight on.
No, he's got a job early in the morning, so he said that he would be too tired to stay up.
Understood. All right, so yeah, before we get out, I do want to. Jake sent me a bunch of clips from the memorial. I want to talk about that, but I just want to get into some quick news topics before we do all of that. Let me see. I think I have some up already. So this is important because this affects us locally. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the clips of the New Jersey, the woman that's running for governor in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that she's been saying. So I want to play this and
and she just got like they've been coming at her money stocks. I think like $6 million.
$7 million. Yeah, I'm gonna show a clip where they confronted her about that on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
and she struggles to answer it.
She struggles to answer a lot.
She does. She does. I think they've been playing that ad a lot on. Have you been seeing that? Like
I saw that one. Yeah.
Where they ask her like, "What are some policies you would want to implement?" And she can't answer it.
How you're running
yeah.
for public office and you can't answer that?
Yeah. I hope people aren't fooled by this lady, man. Like, we need to put a stop to this in New Jersey. New Jersey needs to stop. All of our property taxes just went up. Our mortgages, like, this is crazy. The energy bills went up because they closed a bunch of plants for this green initiative BS that they're trying to start. Like, they're trying to kill us, man. But let's watch this clip of what she says here.
Should parents have the right to opt their kids out of LGBTQ-related content in the same way that right now they can be removed from sex ed and health curriculum classes?
Look, I believe that parents have the right to oversee their children's education. I would push an LGBTQ education into our schools. Parents have a right to opt out of a lot of things, but this is not an area where they should be opting out, because this is an area of understanding the background of people throughout our nation. And right now we see, for example, at the Naval Academy, an erasure of history.
Steve Sweeney, should parents?
So there you go. She doesn't want to give parents the option to opt out of that in schools.
Yeah.
A place where our taxes pay for the curriculum, and then you want to force feed your agenda. And the problem is, like, women are usually the ones that are doing this. They want to implement these things, and they do it on the guise of empathy and
loving everybody.
Yeah, loving and tolerance and all this, but they don't understand that it's authoritarian and you're infringing on the rights of people that don't believe what you believe. So that's just a quick insight into how she thinks about things.
They love to blame Christians for doing that and pushing the Christian agenda. We don't have to learn about they remove the Bible and everything else, but you implement that and want us to tolerate that. Right,
which is essentially your religion and ideology.
Yep.
But yeah, any mention of prayer, any mention of Islam is fine, but for some reason Christianity is where we draw the line. Christianity is where it's offensive, where you're trying to enforce your beliefs on other people, all of that. Jake, any thoughts on that?
Pathetic. No, it's I saw that clip. It's it's sad. A lot of her policies are sad. She's just the typical leftist, and what she's doing. Hopefully, it wakes a lot of people up hearing the things that she says, because it's not just that; it's a lot of other stuff she's saying.
Yeah,
that is just just the average person. It's nonsensical. So hopefully she's just putting her foot in her mouth and New Jersey wakes up.
Because
all she's running on,
she's still leading.
Yeah, she is leading, which is sad.
Yeah. And that's but also again, just like we talked about this with Illinois, but the way they cut up the districts, and it's just it kills a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah.
Again, that's another example that Jake brought up, the way that they cut up these districts. Why? To get more, seats.
Get more seats in Congress,
but when Republicans talk about that, wait a minute, you guys are accusing, one side of doing what y'all been doing.
They've been doing it forever.
Ever.
Yeah. As soon as we say, all right, it's time to fight back and play by the same rules y'all been playing by. Yeah. This is a dictatorship. That's what
how they do.
Authoritarians do. How could you? This is not democracy.
They cry. They cry. They cry. It's everything.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Kimmel thing.
That's what we're going to get into a little bit, like their reaction to that.
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah, no, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's the same thing.
It is this. We're going to celebrate this when we have the power, but then accuse you of doing that when you... And the thing is, it's not even being done the way they're claiming it is. Yeah. But let me play this clip from her on The Breakfast Club when they confronted her about the money situation. Okay.
So when Newsmax claims that you made $7 million from stock trades, what are they talking about?
Newsmax is, first of all, a very questionable organization that is paying multiple fines. I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Well, did you make $7 million in stock trades at all? Or?
I haven't. I don't believe I did, but I'd have to go see what what that was.
A lot of
alluding to, and what kind of came from.
So when Newsmax claims that you made $7 million from stock trades, what are they talking about?
Yeah. So that's the.
I mean, I just want to give credit to. I haven't watched the whole thing. That's the first time I've seen. I've heard this happen, but that's the first time that I'm watching it. I give credit to Charlemagne for pushing.
This is where I don't give credit to Charlemagne, because Charlemagne hates white women, so he's gonna push back against her because she's a white woman trying to run for office. If this was a black woman running for office with the same accusations from Newsmax, he wouldn't even bring it up.
Kamala, yeah, you're right.
Like
he supported her. Just because
he's still supporting
she's quote unquote black,
even after she came out, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, where she came out with this book.
Damn,
basically,
I'm trying to give him some credit, Jay.
I'm just like I especially like his take on the Jimmy Kimmel thing, his take on a lot of different stuff. He's like, it's hard to give him credit, man, because he's so indoctrinated into. I mean, I just saw a clip today where he brought up on his show about Trump telling people to drink bleach again, because they were trying to, when they made this announcement about acetaminophen being linked to autism in pregnant women, like pregnant women taking acetaminophen is linked to autism in their babies after the fact, and this is based off of. There's a bunch of studies that they base this off of, most notably a Harvard study. So on the Breakfast Club, they're talking about it during a news segment, and they ask her, and the woman doing the news says, there is no evidence to back this up, and isn't it the same guy that told people to drink bleach? And Charlemagne says, yeah, it is. Like, come on, man. You're still pushing that lie?
Yeah. Well, maybe he doesn't know it's a lie.
He does.
Come
on. He got too many people around him. He has too many people around him that will challenge him. There are people who will challenge him. So he's not stupid. He just chooses to be.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of the comedian Andrew Schultz? Yeah.
Well, he's been away for a while, so they haven't really been having conversations, because he's in the Street Fighter movie.
Is he?
He's one of the characters in the new Street Fighter movie.
Playing? Andrew Schultz?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Vega?
No, he's not Vega. He's somebody else. But I saw a trailer for it. It actually looks kind of dope. 50 Cent's playing Balrog.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, 50 Cent's playing Balrog.
Cool.
He's been like doing some heavy training for it too.
I hope they do it justice. Not the Van Damme.
How you
get Van Damme to play Guile, the most American?
The dude has an American flag tattoo. He's like an American hero, and you give him some French guy accent.
Right.
Like, that was just horrible terrible. Casting.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't think they thought about that.
They didn't think that one through.
Wait, he's got to talk.
If anything, I would have took Dolph Lundgren over him.
Right. He would have been.
A good guy.
A good guy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but so
I do love Van Damme movies though. Come on.
Kickboxer. Bloodsport.
Let's go. Bloodsport.
Yeah. He's the same character in every movie.
Yeah.
Listen, you go back and you watch those movies, they're not the same. When you're a kid.
When you're a grown man.
No Retreat, No Surrender?
Yeah.
No Retreat, No Surrender was dope.
That was a good one.
He was the villain in that.
It's not the same. I've gone back and watched all those movies.
They're terrible.
And they're terrible.
Have you tried to show them to your kids?
Yes, and they're like, Daddy, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, they just laugh. Like, you used to watch this? Like,
yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
The most they could do is Karate Kid.
Karate Kid is, man, that one stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Lance Venema said, good evening from New York. Shout out to you.
Hey,
Make sure you hit that like button, share the video with your friends. Moving on, I got to get into this story about the VP is back with her big book tour. She's got this new book called 107 Days, which
Kamala.
is based off of everything that she had to deal with during her 107 days of running for president. And she's coming under fire because she's basically spilling the tea and blaming Joe Biden and saying that they were not supportive of her throughout the entire vice presidency, and they put her on the border because they wanted to give her a job that she couldn't do, and like all this stuff. Now she's a victim. Now she's a victim. Now, you know, she's doing this book tour. Let's watch when Rachel Maddow talks about, in the book, she talks about why she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg. And she says that she didn't pick him because he's gay.
Yeah, I remember.
So watch now.
about
Rachel Maddow is going to bring that up to her and ask, like, how she, and talk about how she felt about it because she is part of that community. Mm-hmm. So let's check this out.
If his reaction to that, since this part of the book has come out, if you've had any reflection on that, or I guess I'd ask you to just elaborate on that a little bit. It's hard to hear with you running as, you know, you're the first woman elected vice president, you're a black woman and a South Asian woman elected to that high office, very nearly elected president, to say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay. It's hard to hear.
No, that's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor, to be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk.
So you're saying that you couldn't pick him because he was gay?
Yeah,
like,
that's why
you just said it again. And then I love how she always starts with everything like, I was very clear. You're never very clear.
Listen. He would have been the better pick than Tampon Tim.
Listen, the funny part was so many memes of people saying, like, you didn't want to pick a gay man, so you picked Tim Waltz.
Yeah,
like,
the weirdest guy. He was so weird.
Like the irony of that situation where you actually did. But well, no, I want to keep going on this because yeah, you can see that she's trying to get around the. She's saying that's not what I said, but then going back to that is what she said.
I honestly think that she would have done better.
I think she would have too.
With
especially on the left.
Yeah,
they would have been eager to vote in a gay vice president.
Yep.
How, you know, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community for my entire life. It wasn't about, yeah, right. So it wasn't about any prejudice on my part, but that we had such a short period of time, and the stakes were so high. I think Pete is a phenomenal public servant, and I think America is and would be ready for that. But when I had to make that decision with 2 weeks to go, you know, and maybe I was being too cautious. You know, I'll let our friends, we should all talk about that. Maybe I was. But that's the decision I made. And I, as with everything else in the book, I'm being very candid about that. Yeah. With a great deal of sadness about also the fact that it might have been a risk.
I think she thought she thought that Tim Walz was something that he wasn't.
I don't think she knew who the hell Tim Walz was. I think
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think her team pitched him to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's so progressive. They gave him the points about him. Like, oh, he did this. He passed this in his state. He cares about tampons in the boys' bathroom. And she said, wow. So he you know, and they're thinking about the
if that's a pitch to you.
They're thinking about the straight white male demographic that they needed to do better with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he claims that he goes hunting. He's gonna get that side.
Yeah.
The older
he works on cars, like all that stuff.
No,
but then
he's a football coach.
Yeah. No, man. Did they drop the ball with that one?
They dropped the ball, man. That dude is
strange.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Even the way he comes out, he just I don't know.
I know.
I don't like making fun of people, but it's
let's just say that they made a bad decision with that one. So here she is on The View, claiming that it was one of the closest elections of all times, even though she lost like 312 to 220, something like that.
If you have to pin it down to one thing, what was the primary reason, do you think, that you lost?
There are many factors, I think, that played
yes,
into
that
the
is
election.
true.
But
Very
I think
many
probably
factors.
one of the biggest in my mind is we just didn't have enough time.
We didn't have enough time.
We didn't have enough time.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't.
And, you know, I mean, one of the reasons I wrote the book is this is unprecedented. Think about this.
Yeah.
that there's a race for president of the United States. The current sitting president is running for re-election. 3.5 months from the election, he decides not to run. The sitting vice president then takes the mantle, running against a former president of the United States.
With no primary, you were appointed as the nominee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Nobody
you're right.
voted for you.
It was unprecedented.
Yeah.
No one voted for you. They took Biden out because he performed so hard. They couldn't cover up his dementia any longer.
Yeah.
They couldn't cover up his failings any longer. So they forced him out. And then there was a back and forth about who was going to take his place. And you threw a fit. And basically they realized that they were going to lose all of that donor money unless they appointed you. So let's be real about what happened.
Who had been running for 10 years with 107 days until the election. And by the way, another piece of what is unprecedented and a bit historical about that race, it is the closest presidential race in the 21st century in terms of the outcome.
You know, say that again. 'Cause he likes to
How
say
is
over
that?
and over again. He's got a mandate.
Well, and that's part of why I wrote this book.
Somebody
Because
fact check her.
history-
Bruh.
Fact check, because didn't we deal with Gore and Bush?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like
There was a recount.
really, really close?
Let's see. I'm going to ask Grok right now.
If it's that close, how come Trump won all those swing states? He flipped so many states.
They're always going to try to make.
They gaslight. They gaslight. They gaslight. So I just asked Grok. No, the 2024 U.S. presidential election was not the closest in history, but by either the popular vote margin or the electoral college margin. It ranks as the 4th closest by popular vote margin since 1900 and the 11th closest overall since the first recorded popular votes in 1824. By electoral college margin, it was comfortably decisive, ranking 13th closest out of the 59 elections. So it wasn't even in the top 10. Below, I'll break this down, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to break it down. Like, they're just gaslight. They just lie constantly.
Yeah, even ChatGPT says, I just put what are the top 3.
Yeah.
And it's well, first they say electoral, which would be number 1 is 1976, Hayes versus Tilden.
Yeah.
1870. I'm sorry. Because I'm like, hey, where is Hayes?
Right, Hayes, 1976.
Yeah. 1824, Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson. And then number 3 was George and Al Gore. That was electoral. And then popular was 1880, and then 1960, John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. That was number 2.
Wow. Yeah, so not even close.
So yeah.
See how
and then number 3 again, popular was George Bush, Al Gore. So
yeah, that's the most, to me, the most standout.
Well, because it was in our lifetime.
Yeah,
and in and it's the closest one in the last 100 years. All the other ones were 1800s, like you just said.
And nobody remembers that.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah.
you see how y'all just did that really, really quick?
Yeah.
You know,
real quick.
And I know she's just taking points from her team or whoever.
But why would you want to? Why would you want to regurgitate stuff that you know you're going to look dumb for saying?
Yes.
People are gonna drag you for saying stuff that's not true.
Yeah.
Like it's a matter of fact. And then the dumb lady sitting next to you says, "Say that again," because he likes to say it's a mandate.
That's not nice, Jamie.
Well, she called her husband dumb.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, this is why though, like they lose. Man, how many people can just go and look it up in a couple seconds? You can't. If anybody's gonna sit and listen to you, and especially like when they know your track record and just listen and not question it and not look it up, then those are the people that are gonna just blindly vote for you anyway.
Yeah,
but I bet you Charlemagne and the rest of them on the Breakfast Club will be saying that tomorrow, that it was the closest election in U.S. history. You know what I mean? And they'll just keep regurgitating those talking points to the rest of their base.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, like, is there a kickback? Is there some media thing going on there? Right?
Could be.
Maybe.
Absolutely could be.
Who's pushing it behind the scenes for them? Because the way that Charlemagne even did that interview with her was crazy.
Yeah.
during the election, like
Yep.
no pushback whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was the worst interview. So and it's funny how he didn't get more slack for that.
Yeah,
For
I
not
know.
pushing
That
back.
was really bad.
I think people were happy about that because again, a lot of the Breakfast Club audience is black women, and they do not want no pushback against Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Let's talking about pushback. Let's go to a clip of Stephen A. Smith kind of dragging her for this book.
Who cares what she has to say at this particular moment in time? I hope the book is successful. When you had an opportunity as a Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America to address so many different issues, and instead what you did was go into protective mode. You wanted to show your loyalty or what have you, and then you lose the election. And what you want to do is point out all the reasons that you didn't win and point the finger of blame, it seems, in everybody else's direction instead of yourself. I don't think that she's going to have any support from the Democratic Party, I can tell you that much. And then you have to take into consideration the level of support that she had coming in. This is an individual that was, that was used to bypass what some would say the democratic process is. There was no primary. Yes, Joe Biden was awful during that debate, that June 27th. Yes, he ultimately stepped away in July. But if you talk to many people within the Democratic Party, they were talking about how this was all part of the plan, because had he departed significantly earlier, when we all saw slippage in him, as far as I was on the record a year earlier, seeing the slippage, had he departed, there would have been a Democratic primary. She would have had to compete to be the Democratic nominee. And there were people who did not want her to do that because clearly they didn't believe. Whether it was Gavin Newsom, whether it was Barack Obama or somebody else. And it seems like she knew it, and that was the kind of feedback she received. And to talk about all of that now, post-election loss, nobody wants to hear that. Into the wind.
I got to say just quickly on this, she didn't speak up, but neither did Josh Shapiro, neither did Gavin Newsom, neither did everybody just kind of stood by and.
No, John. Don't do that. Josh Shapiro is the governor of the state of Pennsylvania. He has a job. He's in office, okay? The reality is that you were the vice president. You were swearing up and down that you were in the room for all the major decisions, and then come to find out you're acknowledging that that was not the case. So if you're an American voter, which I am, because I am no politician, I am an American voter, I am a conscientious observer, and I'm hearing this stuff from you now, which was opposite of what you were verbalizing to America in pursuit of their vote. Now that you're trying to sell a book and we're hearing a totally different tune, all I'm trying to say to you is that folks are going to remember that, and you weren't that strong of a candidate before. Respectfully, remember, she didn't make it to Iowa in 2020, okay? And then in 2024, you lost every swing state. You lost a popular vote for the first time since 2004. Nobody wants to hear it now. I believe her political career is over.
Yeah, and
people know that you're not honest.
You sat there. They asked you straight up if you noticed anything about Joe Biden's mental decline. You said no.
No.
You said he was fine. You said he was great. You said Joe is the sharpest. That
You
sharpest
remember
attack.
Remember that wave of like media, you just saw the media just like he's as sharp as
Yeah.
ever. Everybody's talking about how sharp
Sharp as
Joe-
attack.
He's sharp as attack.
That was the
he
talking
answers
points.
The question,
Yeah.
like, if he's sharp, then why is everybody trying to convince? It felt like you're trying to convince me.
Yeah.
To believe that.
Yeah. But then that's why for after the fact, for you to complain about the way it was all handled and act like you're some kind of victim and then say like, now you want to tell the truth about the situation. We don't want to hear it. Just like that book that Jake Tapper and them wrote. Like you were one of the main ones peddling this fraudulent.
You have it? You have the clip?
Yeah.
You have the clip of Donald Trump saying there's fine people on both sides?
Yeah.
Now it's not.
Guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yes.
What, Jake?
Guys.
Yes.
I think we're missing it.
What are we missing?
We're missing that the key word that they always use and they go to is empathy.
Mhm.
Say it with me. Empathy.
Empathy. Say it with me,
Okay.
guys. Empathy.
but seriously, it's so funny that like that was the thing they were attacking from Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what they do. So it's only right that she would turn on them because she's looking for the public. She's looking for empathy from the public, right?
Uh-huh.
Now look, this is why empathy is such a bad word. I want you to understand the etymology of this word, right? It's actually a assimilated word. So it's like not a real word, it's like something put together.
Yeah.
And it comes from the Greek en, which means in, and then pathos, feelings. Yeah, in your feelings.
Yeah, in your feelings.
feelings.
Wow.
In your feelings.
And I want you
Isn't
to
that
be
crazy?
in my feelings too.
Yeah. So literally, like, it's to get that's why sympathy or even compassion is totally different, right?
Right.
Because empathy is like, it's like a manipulation,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
when you're in your feelings, what are you going to do? You're going to point the finger,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're going to try to get people on your side, right?
Yeah.
You're going to gossip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is what it's about. Compassion is more about, and even sympathy is more about understanding how people could be where they are,
Right.
right? Compassion is, you know what, that person just punched me in the face, but but I can understand where they're coming from because of why, or I can understand why they did that because of where they're coming from or where they might be coming from. And that's understanding, and then that leads to having compassion for somebody, right? And of course, that's something for us that's why it doesn't make sense to most people, right? But to believers, God teaches us in these instances where we have the right to just judge somebody, right? They're dead wrong. But what happened in their life? And even with this, like, what got Kamala to this state? What got Kamala to the state that she lies and lies and lies and lies? Because that's what she's been doing the whole time. But what got her there? And that's
the fact that it keeps advancing her career. She found out that
it's been working.
It's been working. She continues to advance. She continues to,
but
quote
even
unquote,
deeper
succeed.
than that. Even deeper than that, what is going on with her that makes her feel like she has to do that? There's something deeply rooted in fear, in proving herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these things we can get to if we have not empathy, because empathy can't get there.
Right.
Right? But understanding, compassion, these sympathy for people, like, and then that changes the game. So, and I'm saying this because look at how many people came at Charlie Kirk for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing the left eats their own.
Yeah.
We've said that over and over again. The left eats their own. Why? Because the moment, it's just like a bad household, like a bad family. The moment something happens, you turn on them. The moment you feel offended, you feel like somebody did something to you, right? It's like our kids. Like, if our kids, we teach our kids how to grow up by not pointing the finger at each other.
Yeah.
By dealing with their issues and not, daddy, they did this, but it's not fair because they did. No, we're teaching them, hey, the ultimate thing is you got to love your brother. And sometimes you got to look past, mate, why did he do it? Why did you, like, how do we deal with conflict?
Mm-hmm.
And the left is doing the opposite. They're always trying to get us in conflicts.
Yeah.
And that's what empathy does. Because you're always in your feelings.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Facts.
All right, so I want to get to this next topic before we hit the Charlie Kirk Memorial. I got to touch on Trump was at the UN today, which was quite eventful. Like, he went up in front of them and pretty much just told them off. First of all, when he got there, it was weird. He came in the building and then the escalator broke right when he was on it with his wife. And he made a comment about that because, like, there was, hold on, let me see if I can find this. There was reports. Oh yeah, right here. There was reports that to mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members have joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell him they ran out of money, so he has to walk up the stairs. Because he's been talking about how people aren't paying their fair share. We're going to stop paying the money. So then for that to actually happen is kind of weird. But Trump, he rolls with the punches. Because then
that happened on purpose.
Yeah, I believe so too. And then after that, here's the clip of it right here. As soon as he gets on it, it stops. But only his. The other ones are still going. And then they have to walk up. And they have to walk up. And he says something about it. I don't know, is this the click? Yeah.
Very much appreciated. and I don't mind making the speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working.
That's another thing that happened.
I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless, and that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
He's so smooth.
I know.
He's good. He's good, man.
But hold on, there's a clip of him talking about the escalator. I think this.
Every one of these countries had never even received a phone call.
Yeah, here
from
we
the
go.
United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter.
He's saying this to them like, y'all don't do nothing for us. You don't help us with nothing. But this clip right here, hold on, this clip right here where he dropped this, and I didn't know this was because of internal investigations that they found out. Remember, they were talking about they were going to be looking into who's funding certain things. Check this out.
Western countries and their borders. In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States. And then
the UN funded using $300 and something million funding people to come across our border.
That's amazing how
you have to get them out.
Yeah.
The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border. Just a year ago, millions and millions of people were pouring in, 25 million altogether over the 4 years of the incompetent Biden administration. And now we have it stopped, totally stopped. In fact, they're not even coming anymore because they know they can't get through. But what took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. In the United States, we reject the idea that mass numbers of people from foreign lands can be permitted to travel halfway around the world, trample our borders, violate our sovereignty, cause unmitigated crime, and deplete our social safety net. We have reasserted that America belongs to the American people, and I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names, I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before.
Bro, that was crazy to hear that they have been funding the United Nations, something that we pay more money into than anybody else in the world, and they don't protect us.
Yeah, and they're trying to destroy the U.S. from within.
Insane.
But isn't the left doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Like they're trying to destroy too.
Absolutely. And
They
that's
don't
our
care.
own, that's the US.
Yeah. It's our own people.
Yeah.
So again, it's, you look at Soros, and it's funny how you can like back terrorist. I mean, they don't call them terrorist groups, but he's backing these groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all these different little groups that he's backing that they're finding out are causing destruction in cities, bringing all the pallets of bricks and all these things that were going on, funding all this stuff. And there's like a loophole with that to where it's like you can say, oh, I don't know what's really going on when I'm giving them my money. I thought I was giving for this or that.
Yeah, you can claim you're giving it to these NGOs and you don't know what they're doing with it. You're just donating to charity.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
I would love I would love to hear the rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
What the head of the UN or whoever the spokesperson is.
Well, that the news media is just going to come out and say Trump claims with no evidence, as they always do. No evidence, no evidence. Like, how do you know there's no evidence?
Right.
And if there is evidence, y'all just going to say there's no evidence. But Eric Doherty did a breakdown of what he covered at the UN speech. It said, at the United Nations, President Trump called for protections for Christians, eviscerated the UN for funding mass migration into U.S. and Western countries, said Europe must stop adopting Sharia law, harshly criticized globalism, slammed the UN for its climate alarmism, scorched countries for funding Russia's war. I saw some clips of that. He was getting on them for like the fact that these people claim they want to stop the war, but they made all these moves, even Biden, like shutting down the Keystone pipeline. A lot of the stuff that he did made people rely more on Russia's oil, which then funded them to then go on and keep this war going. Promoted fossil fuels, urged countries to stop falling for the green scam, said the UN doesn't back up its words with any meaningful action on issues of matter, preached American exceptionalism and said none of their countries come close, demanded an end to biological weapons, concluded by urging UN members to protect their nation's identity by clamping down on mass migration and serving their people. And of course, clowned the UN for its escalator breaking in the lobby and the teleprompter not working. You know, this is something that this stuff needs to be called out, and people need to understand what we're doing and why we're having issues with the UN, why Trump doesn't want to keep spending money in places where it doesn't benefit us at all. It actually hurts us, because think about that. We're sending them money for them to then use that money to send people to our border and come in illegally and fund them with credit cards and all kind of stuff. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. UN is causing, the whole Ukraine thing.
Yeah.
Going to the border of Russia, treaty being broken, and we fund billions of dollars there too.
Yep, absolutely.
And then now Trump is saying that they're giving people debit cards for their journey to cross our border. Illegally.
Yeah, and then that's even crazy. Beyond that, like, so the missions to taking refugees, like, look at what's going on in Minneapolis and all of the Somalians and that entire culture that is
Sharia law.
Yeah, and I saw someone breaking down who her family was and where she came from, and the fact that she actually was, her family were like communists, so they were fleeing for their safety because they got kicked out of there. They weren't fleeing because they were, poor and needed assistance. They were fleeing because they got kicked out of there. And now she's trying to implement those ideologies into our own government. I want to show y'all this clip that I just saw of this guy talking on their news station about Minneapolis.
Achieved the victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come, because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down, because they must come down.
The U.S. must come down. It must fall. These are people that are in this country.
In the country. You're in the U.S.
That was in Dearborn, Michigan. This city is already over 55% Muslim, and they clearly don't have plans at stopping there.
They're in our country.
What were you saying, Jake?
When you said Dearborn, I just said one of the most Muslim cities in the country.
Yeah. I mean, there's places out there now that I heard they are putting Arabic writing on the police badges.
Yeah, that's Dearborn.
That's in Dearborn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have their
own
police, right?
No, this is like the actual
Sharia law police, right?
No, this is like the actual police.
What?
Yeah, because I mean, it's so heavily Islamic, it's so heavily Muslim that they're giving speeches in I know what's her name? Ilhan Omar does speeches in Somali. Like the mayor there, he's doing his speeches. The guy running from, I don't know, did he win? The guy that was running for mayor, the Somalian guy, he's doing speeches in Somali. Like it's getting wild. It's getting wild, man.
Courtney said something. She said Malcolm X said, "quote unquote," white liberals are sheeps in wolves' clothing.
That's right. He said the most dangerous thing to the black man is the white liberal. All right, let's go to this memorial service. We got to talk about that. It was a very powerful event. Did you watch the whole thing?
Just had it on the entire time, but it was like they were worshiping for hours and hours.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And
it was beautiful.
People pointed out that a lot of the news channels didn't want to play that stuff.
Yeah.
But let's play a little clip of it. I shared this on our Instagram page. Place was completely packed. There's other clips of them, people singing. Let me see if I can find it. No, I had it on here. Let me see.
Yeah, it was beautiful, man. I got emotional a few times. Some, when they were praising.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the clip right here.
One more time. So I'll throw up my head, praise you again and again. All that I have is and I know it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to see all those people worshiping. And that's funny. It's funny because I heard them singing that. That's a song that Jake's been playing a lot. So it was just like funny to see them on that same kind of wavelength.
Yeah.
And I posted the clip of that on our Facebook and Instagram. The Instagram has got like over 200,000 views. And a lot of people just like, man, feeling the spirit with that.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, this looks like a cult.
Yeah.
Talking about, oh, it's number white people. This is a
that's
Nazi.
not true. That's
this is
not true.
Yeah. This is a Nazi rally.
It's,
Yo,
I was actually gonna say that in the beginning. There, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We during church, the spirit of the Lord was just like so strong. I was like, at one point, I was sobbing, when we were praying, and I feel it. It's in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's just, I see things like, people in Florida that, did you guys hear about that?
No, what happened?
They were at the beach and there was like thousands of people just getting baptized.
What?
And I think they said it was like, 10,000 people watching while like 1,000 people were just getting baptized. It's amazing. And then I see people that we know. I don't want to put her name out there, but it's one of our fans back in the day. She said she had some like trauma in the church, right? But something is drawing her back to the church, and she asked, her friends where is a good church to go to, and I just see things like that's happening, that just shows me that the Lord is working.
Was this it here?
Yeah.
This is in California.
Was it California?
Yeah. That's why
I thought it was Florida.
Yeah.
No, wait. I don't know if that's the same. The video that I saw, they were wearing red shirts. They had like red shirts, but it was thousands because it was an aerial view. I wonder if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you definitely feel it. To see that being broadcast all over the world. I mean, there was hundreds of millions of people watching that memorial. There was over 100,000 people there. That place holds like 75,000 people. And then there was an overflow building that had another 20,000 people. Then there was people out in the streets that couldn't get into either one of those buildings. And they're estimating it was over like 300,000 people that came in to that place. Everyone was on the same accord. And then the people that were watching online, you know, it's definitely, you feel what is happening.
I saw the woman, she posted, and she's not a Trump supporter. She's doesn't agree with the policies, but she appreciated what Charlie Kirk did, and she went to the event, and she like blogged it. She got there at like 5 o'clock, and there was in the morning, and there was already like they didn't think they were gonna get in.
Wow.
That's how many people there were. But they ended up getting in, and she said that she was talking to people around her that was there, and one thing that stuck out that she said is that she felt freedom. She felt like she was free to say whatever she was saying. Everybody there they weren't judging her. They weren't trying to get in debate. They were just like, happy that she was there.
Yeah.
Just encouraging her. And she said the whole thing, like, it was amazing. She did complain a little bit about Trump and I think one other person. But
yeah.
But overall, what she was saying was like that you could feel it. You could feel it in the air. You know what I mean? You could feel it.
I mean, there were so many people that I saw that even like are not religious or are kind of agnostic or atheists that were there because they are on the right, or they see how impactful this moment was, and they talk about how spiritual it was in there. Like, you felt it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe that, you felt it.
Yeah.
But this is what Boone was talking about here. This clip.
Look at how many people.
Let me mute that just in case it's copyright. Yeah. But yeah,
they said it was like almost 2,000 people that got baptized.
Wow.
And then more.
Took place at Heritage Park on Sunday, May 18th. Oh, this is old, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still,
but it's still
that's amazing.
It's still amazing. Yeah. May 18th, 2025. But that shows you that even, before, like, this is something that we have been talking about anyway. Like, the movement of people coming back to Christ has been a real thing even before. And this Charlie Kirk thing has just solidified it for a lot of people, even people that's hearts were way more hardened.
Yeah.
I mean, and then when you look at the statements that Erica made and all the other people, like when she got up there and said that she forgives her husband's killer, like, that was huge. That was a huge moment.
That is.
Yeah.
That's not Jesus, man. And for Destiny to say that if that's anything but a Nazi rally, you can whatever.
Yeah.
That dude needs Christ, man.
Yep. I mean, that is sick to see people that are still trying to categorize that as evil.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's evil for people. It's not evil for when I posted that clip of them all singing hallelujah, I said, this is much better than riots, right?
Yeah.
And people got triggered by that. You know what I mean? But what's so wrong about saying that? It's the truth.
There wasn't riots.
It's the truth. It's
nothing.
You're and I saw a lot of people posting the comparison clips of like the riots during 2020 and then people worshiping in a building together. And which one are you calling evil? Which one are you calling?
Yeah.
One is a Nazi rally. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not obvious to you,
causing millions and millions of dollars in damage.
Yeah.
And destroying community.
Destroying property. People died.
Yeah.
You know how many people died during those riots?
Sad.
After Erica Kirk said she forgives him, the young man, I saw a video of a guy saying when he saw her saying that, he said, now I forgive the guy that killed my brother. And he named his name.
Wow.
And he said, I forgive you. Like, God is moving. I mean, the word says it. In the last days, he's going to pour out his spirit on all flesh. So,
Speaking of the last days, this is supposedly the last day.
the last day.
Isn't today supposed to be the last day?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
all these people saying the rapture was supposed to come today. You didn't hear about this?
Oh, yeah, all over.
I'm sure you heard about this, Jake. It was just funny because they gave a specific, it says no man will know the day nor the hour. Mm-hmm. They gave a specific time. It was like 11:30 p.m. And then my first thought was, but what about time zones? So is that Eastern time? Is it Central? People in Hawaii get a couple more hours.
No, but
like, how does that work?
A lot of people were saying it. Like, what the heck? Oh.
A lot of people thought Y2K was about to happen. They was,
Yeah, but guess what? Remember, did I tell you? I think I told Jake. Some couple was going into an Uber, and they were crying, and the Uber driver said to them, why are you crying? They just got out of church, and they said, because the Lord is coming on the 23rd, and we're going to give money to the person that we go into the Uber with, and they gave him $1,900.
Wow.
Because they thought that the rapture was the 23rd.
1900?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, but that's still something.
I mean, maybe that's all they had, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe they emptied out their entire bank account. Like, remember the lady with the 1 penny?
Yeah.
Like.
And the guy was all happy saying, oh, look, he showed the wad of money and everything.
He was like, these dummies.
They try to get their money back when they found out.
Well, it still hasn't happened. It's supposed to be 11th. And what time zone do they live in? Because then you don't know. It might be tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't even know where it was at.
All right, let's get into some of these clips. Jake, you sent me a bunch. I'm just going to go in order from how you sent them because I'm sure you sent it in a strategic order, right? Sort of? Okay. Well, let me know if you want me to play a specific one first.
I just try to pick the best stuff that I saw. It's the collective of people talking and a lot of inspirational stuff.
Okay. All right. These are moments from the memorial. In case you didn't get a chance to see them, we have the highlights. Here we go.
In 2022, my husband Mike became sick with cancer. 2 years later, that cancer took his life. Throughout those 2 years, Charlie called me consistently to ask how he could help us. At one point, he had critical medication and an oxygen machine sent to my doorstep without my knowledge. I still to this day have no idea how he made that happen. But that was Charlie. He did the right thing. There was no limit to how far he'd go to help a friend. He wasn't looking for publicity or credit. He did it because that's what a leader does, that's what a friend does, and that's what a Christian is supposed to do. Sometimes I would express guilt to Charlie that I couldn't do my job at 100%. Charlie's response every single time was family first. When Mike ultimately passed away, Charlie and the entire team were there for us yet again. They helped my daughter Grace through the unbearable tragedy of losing her father on her 9th birthday. But Charlie's help didn't stop there. This January, I lost my home in the Pacific Palisades fire. Charlie's response was very clear and very direct. This is a sign. You and Grace belong in Arizona now. Within a few months, we moved here, and Charlie and Erica welcomed us into their family. While enduring our various tragedies, my daughter Grace would ask me, at least once a day, why would God do this to us, Mom? My honest and only answer was, someday we will look at each other and instantly know why all of this had to happen, and it will be for something far greater than we can ever imagine. In my first conversation with Grace after Charlie's death, Grace said to me through tears over the phone, Mom, this is the answer to my question. This is our why. Now we can be there for Erica and Gigi and Mac, the way they were there for us.
Wow.
A couple days ago, I learned.
Wow. Yeah. Pete Hegseth, here we go.
That Kirk, actually in German, the German language, means church. So on this Sunday morning, I'd like to think we're all in Charlie's church. Charlie started a political movement, but unleashed a spiritual revival. My pastor texted me the day after that horrific event and said, Pete, the devil overplayed his hand. Charlie started with liberty, but ended up lighting our country on fire for Christ. He started Turning Point USA, but this moment is the turning point for the USA. right now. Fight for Charlie Kirk. Who feels the Holy Spirit in the house tonight?
That was one of the best things about it, was everyone was bringing up Jesus. Everyone was bringing up the Holy Spirit. Talking about the turning point for the country, how prophetic that name
right?
was. That he didn't even,
when they came up with that.
Yeah.
That is prophetic.
Yeah.
He probably had no idea.
Nope.
Feel that revival happening right now. How does it always work? What man intends for evil, God intends for good. Evil thought that there'd be a funeral today. God has created a revival right here in this house right now. Charlie always had that revival energy, didn't he? When Charlie first met me, I was a degenerate loser. I'm still a loser, but I was addicted to alcohol. I had no wife, I had no kids, I had nothing going for me. After 10 years of work with Charlie Kirk, after his witnessing to my life, I have become a Christ-centered man. I am happily married to the woman of my dreams, sitting right there with our youngest son, who just turned 8 today, 8 months. And he's wearing ducks for Charlie's beloved Oregon Ducks today. That's baby Whitaker, in honor of Charlie. All of you had a Charlie moment in your life, didn't you? Raise your hand if Charlie Kirk centered you a little closer to Christ. Did Charlie help you achieve your American dream a little bit more? Did Charlie have that effect? Look at every single hand. Stand up. Say amen if Charlie Kirk had that effect on your life. Look at this. 100,000 Americans, millions watching online, standing up and saying, that is the revival spirit of Charlie Kirk's life. And that is the power of martyrdom. Because Charlie Kirk is a martyr in the true Christian tradition. If you take out a tyrant, his power goes away. You cut down a martyr, his power grows. And that's what we see. Time and time again, we're seeing it across this country. Who's seen the full churches, the full parking lots? Who knows somebody now who's a Satanist or an agnostic, who's now looking at Charlie's life in this revival moment in our country and going, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I do need a Christ center in my life. This is what Charlie always wanted. This is how he wanted to be remembered. In the mold of Stephen, the first martyr. Stephen was killed for speaking the truth about Christ, much like Charlie Kirk. The martyr Stephen was the same age as Charlie Kirk when he was martyred. At that time, Christianity was just a few very scared Christians in Jerusalem. And after Stephen's martyrdom, Christianity spread throughout the known world. The power of martyrdom. This is how God and Christ always advances his kingdom, and he's doing it right now with Charlie Kirk. It is a wonderful thing to see. We were all witness to a miracle. Charlie's life was a miracle. We could all see it, those who worked up close and those who watched from far away. We got to witness a miracle in Charlie's life. Someone who was there that day when Stephen was martyred was Saul. Saul was the one who was taking the garments so that Stephen could be killed. And through Stephen's martyrdom, the Apostle Paul was reached by Christ to go out and write the majority of the New Testament. There was no one who was irredeemable. And that is what Charlie would have wanted us to know about his faith in Jesus Christ. The power of Christ's blood and the power of martyrdom speaks through Charlie.
And I want you to know that we did everything we could to save Charlie, but Charlie was already gone. His face was looking at mine, but he wasn't looking at me. He was
So real
past
quick,
me.
this is Frank Turek, I think his name last.
Yeah, Frank Turek.
And this was the guy they were trying to say he had the white on with the hat.
Yeah.
And he was filming, and they were trying to say, "Oh, he's touching his shoulder and he's touching his head."
I know. It was some of the conspiracy theories are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of weird stuff and a lot of stuff that still there's not clear answers on, But
yeah, but you can see how people can take things and it seems like it makes sense.
Oh yeah, I mean we saw them do it with the assassination attempt on Trump. They had a million theories. People from this side and that side. Oh, it was planned. It was set up. The cameraman, all that stuff. Like people can come up with whatever. But
yeah. He was right next to him.
Yeah.
He was in the car with him.
Yep.
Bringing him to the hospital. So he's talking about that. I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay.
Right into eternity. And if it's any comfort at all, I learned later that Charlie felt no pain. He died instantly. But we had to try and bring him back. We couldn't save him. Now I want you to know that Charlie right now is in heaven not because he was a great husband and father, not because he saved millions of kids out of darkness on college campuses, not because he changed minds and chased votes to save the country, not because he sacrificed himself for his savior. Charlie Kirk is in heaven because his savior sacrificed himself for Charlie Kirk.
This is the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever seen.
Real quick, I saw the musician back there playing. Have you guys heard about like certain pastors and certain like Christian people saying that they're not going to work with any musicians that were there worshiping at Charlie Kirk's funeral? Like, there's been certain people in the Christian world that have said like they're not going to work with them anymore, like because they were there.
Where's that love? Like, what is
That's straight bitterness, man.
Yeah.
It is.
And it shows you the root of bitterness, right?
Yeah.
The root literally says that in the Bible. Where's the root of love? Like Mom said, where are you rooted in love? No, you're rooted in bitterness. Because, again, what we're seeing here is forgiveness. What we're seeing here is understanding for people outside. We're seeing people actually sharing the love and giving that love. They're not worshiping Charlie Kirk. They're honoring Charlie Kirk in his life to Christ, but centering Christ in all of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did he do it? What was the purpose? It's because Christ first loved us.
And that was one of the things that people were commenting like on Instagram and on Facebook, like, oh, they're worshiping Charlie Kirk. No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're worshiping Jesus.
Yeah.
They're literally singing hallelujah to Jesus.
Right.
They're just, Charlie Kirk is the one that brought them together.
Right.
All right, let's get into, I watched Tucker's speech, so I know what he's going to talk about.
And I don't... Whatever happens next in America, I hope it's in this direction because God is here and you can feel it. And Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist.
Charlie Kirk was one of my best friends. The world of politics can be full of transactional people. Charlie wasn't one of them. He was the polar opposite. He loved life and he loved the people in his life. Charlie led with his faith and fought with his heart.
Sitting with Charlie here in Arizona at ASU last year, seeing an
Hold on, real quick.
We can't hear you for some reason.
Sorry, I tried. It went off. Anyway, I wanted to put that on there, that little part, because notice what he said. He was in a world where people are transactional, right? And we brought that up before, right? Like covenant, when relationship is not transactional.
Yeah.
Jesus brings us into a covenantal relationship, right? With him. And that's loving people before they even love us. That's loving your enemies.
Right.
And this is what we're talking about. So, but politics and the way people, you do something for me, I do it for you. You do this for me, I do it for you. That's simply transactional. And I just wanted to bring that up and show that, because what he's saying is, and just from what you hear about Charlie over and over and over again, I know, do you have the Vance Jones clip?
Van Jones, yeah.
Van Jones, sorry. Yeah, that was up on, you put that up on the Young Lion Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, like 600,000 views right now, I think.
But when you see that clip with Vance Jones just saying how Charlie Kirk reached out to him. Van Jones, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know this guy. I don't watch this guy. But my point is that this is the stuff he did. He didn't care about, oh, you're on the left.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, can we talk about these things? Can we?
Because think about it. What can Van Jones offer him?
Nothing.
And most people, like you're saying, in the political realm, even if it's just someone who seems like they're a debater or anything, they're not going to debate people that they can't get something out of beating. You know what I mean? Like, or they can't, there's nothing for me to gain here, so I don't need to reach out to you. That, like you said, it's more of a transactional relationship. So the fact that Charlie went out of his way to DM this guy who had been calling him a white supremacist and a racist for the last week, and just said, hey, man, let's have a conversation. We can talk about these things. Like, we can agree to disagree. That shows a lot.
Yeah. And Van Jones actually kind of like showed how he thinks by just one thing that he said to me was, I'm his mortal
enemy. Yeah.
And I know Charlie didn't look at
it that way. But
He
how
wanted-
a lot of people they see if we disagree, we're enemies.
Yeah.
You know, even Trump said it. I want to play that clip where he was like talking about their enemies, the different. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, wait till you see it. Let's keep going on this.
And in action was truly a sight to behold. Because in Charlie, he sincerely wanted people to know the truth. Because it's the truth that sets us free. It is the truth that keeps us free. History shows this dark pattern that when ideas cannot withstand scrutiny, whether it's the ideology of so-called religious fanatics or political fanatics, their defenders, terrified that their weak ideas will be exposed for what they are, turn to intimidation, censorship, and violence. They kill and terrorize their opponents, hoping to silence them. But in this evil that we have experienced, that Charlie faced, their flawed ideology is exposed. Because by trying to silence Charlie, his voice is now louder than ever. His message is more powerful and impactful than ever. The truths that he spoke have spread hundredfold. Because Charlie was fearless. But where did his fearlessness come from? The answer lies in Corinthians. Therefore, be always of good courage, and know that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. We are of good courage, I say, and prefer to be absent from the body and at home with the Lord. Therefore, we have as our ambition, whether at home or absent, to be pleasing to him.
I was telling somebody backstage that I always felt a little uncomfortable talking about my faith in public as much as I love the Lord and as much as it was an important part of my life. I have talked more about Jesus Christ in the past 2 weeks than I have my entire time in public life.
That's definitely something that you see more now. Like people are just being more bold now because it's clear that the timidness and the mentality of like I don't want to offend, that veil has been lifted for a lot of people.
We should strive to live our lives in perfect imitation of Christ. We should turn every day and every moment and every interaction into a prayer. And Charlie understood the great paradox that it's only by surrender to God that God's power can flow into our lives and make us effective human beings. My brother David died, and I asked my mother, does the hole that they leave in you, when they die, does it ever get any smaller? And she said to me, it never gets any smaller. But our job is to grow ourselves bigger around the hole. And we do that by taking the best qualities, the best, most admirable character traits of the person that died, and integrate them with restraint, with discipline, with practice into our own character. And in doing that, we make ourselves larger, and the whole gets proportionally smaller. But we also give a kind of immortality to the person who left us, because their work continues through us. A couple of days ago, my granddaughter left for college in Europe. Her mother noticed that she packed a Bible. When her mother asked her why she made that choice, she said, I want to live more like Charlie. And it's... In one of my first conversations with Charlie in July of 2021, we were talking about the risks that all of us take when we challenge entrenched interest, the physical risk. And he asked me if I was scared of dying. And I said to him, there's a lot worse things than death. And one of those things is if we lost our constitutional rights in this country and that our children were raised as slaves.
It wasn't easy, but Charlie wasn't in it for money at all, never has been. Money was never his thing. He was always in it for the mission. As he liked to say even back then, we have a country to save. Just what he did. He'd call me all the time, sir, we have a country to save. I said, Charlie, thanks very much for telling me that. I appreciate it. Charlie volunteered for my 2016 campaign and traveled the nation with my son, Don, and Eric. I got to know him very well and saw immediately that Charlie was actually a master builder of people. It was Charlie who first started organizing young black conservatives hungry for support and leadership. It was Charlie who stood up for persecuted Christians and Jews on college campuses. It was Charlie who helped bring online censorship, free speech, and cancel culture to the fore of our political debate. He was right up there with me. It was Charlie who helped unite MAGA, and you know what M-A-H-A is? That's right, make America healthy again. And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find it to be amazing. In that private moment on his dying day, we find everything we need to know about who Charlie Kirk truly was. He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted
you got this is the part I was talking about.
The best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Look at that. He's angry at me now. He wasn't interested in demonizing anyone. He was interested in persuading everyone to The ideas and principles he believed were good, right, and true. Before each appearance, he prayed these words: God, use me for your will. Always said the same thing: use me for your will. When the news finally came out on election night last November that the race was officially won, came out pretty early in the night. Charlie was live on camera. In that moment, he was overcome with emotion. I've never seen him like this. He was so happy. For a long while, he said nothing. His eyes were filled with tears, and then he buried his face in his hands and he started crying. That wasn't the Charlie I knew, but in thinking about it, it actually was the Charlie I knew, because he had a tremendous heart. He just wanted what was good for our country, and he saw us going in such a horrible direction.
Bring deliverance.
Okay, so this is I'm assuming the Kim Clement clip that everybody's been sharing about him prophesying. They're claiming that he's
Erica.
talking about Erica. I don't know if have you seen that?
I've seen.
That's the speculation that he's been talking about Erica in this prophecy. This is from 2011. Okay.
You're muted, Jake.
Yeah, it's interesting because he talks about her eyes.
Yeah.
And bro, when I was watching her, especially in this, there was just something about her look. Like, it was intense.
Yeah.
It was deep. There was something.
Dude, her
It was
eyes, when I was watching this live and watching her speak, that was something that I noticed, was her eyes were so piercing. And then when I saw this prophecy, I was like, wow. Because that was something that I immediately latched on to.
Right. And that's something that really hit me. And just I felt like when she was speaking, I was watching a really good movie.
Yeah.
It was like this can't be real. It was just out of body experience type thing.
Yeah.
And I do feel like something was rising, right?
Mhm.
Something was coming to the surface. And he says something in here about her eyes. He says something about her being crowned. God has crowned her. And that is interesting because she was crowned Miss Arizona.
Yeah.
But this is Kim. For people who don't know, this is Kim Clement. He died in 2016. I think he died.
He died just right after Trump was elected, like a few weeks later.
Yeah. But he was somebody who would talk to Trump.
Yeah.
He's from South Africa.
He prophesied Trump having 2 terms, even when it was weird, right?
He did.
He prophesied Trump winning the first time. He prophesied 9/11. He prophesied Obama winning. He prophesied so many different things that came true. So even that, it was so interesting because he prophesied this before Trump won. So everybody's thinking he's going to win 2 terms, right?
Yeah.
But even how it happened was crazy. He even prophesied that there will be 2 presidents, and how
he even said in there about how the devil will try to put a witch in the White House. And who did he beat both times?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He beat women both times.
Amazing.
Yep.
When he first talked about the woman with the beautiful eyes, I first thought it was Tulsi.
Oh, okay.
But then when I seen now that she's the CEO of the company now, Turning Point, and that she's very strict about getting the word out, and she doesn't care. She wants to get the word out. Then I said, you know what? It probably is her.
Yeah, I saw a clip people were sharing before where they were interviewing both of them, and somebody said, who's more conservative, you or her? And he was like, her by far. Like, she's more even further to the right than I am. Yeah.
So I wanted to share this, and then we'll watch. I just highlighted the main parts of, it was too long. I couldn't do everything, but the main parts of her speech, just to get the gist of it and just see how these things connect.
Okay.
Bring deliverance, Lord. Deliver us from this enemy that has endeavored to handicap us. And Lord, the betrayal that has been so evident in the White House, bring that to an end. I see a president that shall come, and this is not to speak bad about this one. There is a president who will come. And God says he will have absolutely no fear. Absolutely no fear. will be decisive, make decisions. And then in the middle of the restoration of America, rapidly, because of a source of energy that shall come quickly, and because of medical breakthroughs, and because of agreements between nations, specifically China. God said they shall say, we never dreamed this would happen. They said that this in Japan would never happen. But God says, listen to me. As the beginning of the restoration, as it begins, there shall be a woman that shall rise up. A woman that shall be strong in faith, virtuous, beautiful in eyes, and her eyes shall be so beautiful. Her eyes shall be round and big. I have crowned her, says the Lord, as I crowned Esther. And the people shall receive her, for she shall have the oil of gladness for the pain and the mourning that has taken place. And she shall pour out the oil. Is there some oil here, please, Marty? Is there some oil? She shall pour out the oil on this nation. And God says healing shall begin, and then it shall flow rapidly. Schools will be free from potential damage and danger, shootings and murder, drug addiction. Cartels shall be afraid of a woman anointed by God, a woman set aside. And God says they will say we hated her, but now we love her. For she shall take the oil of healing, and she shall pour it upon the scars of those left and those right, and of the new party that has come forth and emerged, where they shall say Christ will reign, and this we shall not implement at all socialism, where where they have said we will make history without God. No, you will not. No, you will not, says the Lord. For I chose this nation before it was founded. Before anybody came here, I chose this entire nation, all 50 states, every one of them, to send my gospel to the entire earth. Do you think I have changed my mind? Therefore, the healing that is necessary for this nation shall come at a time in the middle of the presidency. There shall be a woman that shall come, and God said there shall be oil that shall be poured upon the nation, and they shall suddenly feel the healing, and they shall say, it is well with my soul, it is well with our soul. For the soul of America has been corrupted, the soul of this nation has been corrupted with bitterness and anger, and God said she shall say, no more bitterness, no more anger, no more division, and shall pour the oil that shall come from the Spirit of the Lord himself. If you as a nation believe that, if you want this, lift your voice and shout one more time and say, yes! Yes to Esther! Yes to Esther!
Well, wait, before you go.
Yes.
On, isn't it amazing that he just said in the middle of the presidency?
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, he said, it is well with my soul. That's the song they were putting in the beginning.
Mm.
It is well with my soul. That was the song.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
I was like, wow, when I heard that, I'm like, that's the song they were playing.
I mean, a lot of the stuff he was saying, about the shootings and schools being feeling safer. Where was the shooting? Where did the shooting happen? It happened at a school. Mm-hmm. Talking about a presidency with no fear. Mm-hmm. Like, look at Trump's mentality throughout this. Like, he came into this with a different mindset. Like, I've never seen
so many moves so quick.
All right, let's get into Erica's highlights.
God bless all of you for coming here from all over the world to honor and celebrate my Charlie. 11 days ago, God accepted that total surrender from my husband and then called him to his side. More than anything, Charlie wanted to do not his will, but God's will. And over these past 11 days, through all the pain, never before have I found as much comfort as I now do in the words of our Lord's Prayer, "Thy will be done." God's love was revealed to me on the very day my husband was murdered. On the afternoon of September 10th, I arrived at a Utah hospital to do the unthinkable, to look directly at my husband's murdered body. I saw the wound that ended his life. I felt everything you would expect to feel. I felt shock. I felt horror and a level of heartache that I didn't even know existed. I also saw this. I also saw on his lips the faintest smile. And that told me something important. It revealed to me a great mercy from God in this tragedy. When I saw that, it told me Charlie didn't suffer. Even the doctor told me. It was something so instant that even if Charlie had been shot in the operating room itself, nothing could have been done. There was no pain, there was no fear, no agony. One moment Charlie was doing what he loved, arguing and debating on campus, fighting for the gospel and truth in front of a big crowd. And then he blinked and saw his Savior in paradise. But most of all, God's mercy and God's love have been revealed to me these past 10 days. After Charlie's assassination, we didn't see violence. We didn't see rioting. We didn't see revolution. Instead, we saw what my husband always prayed he would see in this country. We saw revival. This past week, we saw people open a Bible for the first time in a decade. We saw people pray for the first time since they were children. We saw people go to a church service for the first time in their entire lives. But know this too, the seed has only just been planted. The enemy will tempt you the most in a time like this one. God will always be there for you, but you must choose to mark your soul again and again in the direction of Christ. Pray again, read the Bible again, go to church next Sunday and the Sunday after that, and break free from the temptations and shackles of this world. Being a follower of Christ is not easy. It's not supposed to be. Jesus said, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. He said he would be persecuted. He said we would be persecuted. And Charlie knew that and happily carried his cross all the way to the end. And I want all of you to know, while Charlie died far too early, he was also ready to die. There was nothing he was putting off. There was nothing that was too hard or too painful or nothing that he just felt like he didn't want to do it. He left this world without regrets. He did 100% of what he could every day. But I want you to know something. Charlie died with incomplete work, but not with unfinished business. But Charlie's mission above all was aimed directly at those who aren't married. He named his organization well. He knew things were not right with America, and especially with young people, and they needed a new direction. Charlie passionately wanted to reach and save the lost boys of the West. The young men who feel like they have no direction, no purpose, no faith, and no reason to live. The men wasting their lives on distractions, and the men consumed with resentment, anger, and hate. Charlie wanted to help them. He wanted them to have a home with Turning Point USA. And when he went onto campus, he was looking to show them a better path and a better life that was right there for the taking. He wanted to show them that. My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men just like the one who took his life. That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him. The First Amendment of our Constitution is the most human amendment. We are naturally talking beings, naturally believing beings, and the First Amendment protects our right to do both. No assassin will ever stop us from standing up to defend those rights, ever. Charlie's life was a turning point for this country. It was a miracle. Let that miracle, that was Charlie's life, be your turning point as well. Choose prayer, choose courage, choose beauty, choose adventure, choose family, choose a life of faith. Most importantly, choose Christ. I love you, Charlie, baby. And I will make you proud. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
how hard,
man.
How hard.
And just seeing, like, because I saw people criticize, oh, you know, it doesn't seem, she's too calculated. She's a pageant girl, blah, 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 blah. Like, trying to turn this into some kind of, like, she's grandstanding. And I'm like, man, do you know how hard that is to lose your husband, the father of your children, and go up there? Even, yeah, she has to have a prepared speech ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how pride will get us to try to
minimize.
Speak on what's in people's hearts that they can't even sense because they don't have any sense spiritually. But those who are spirituals can sense the feeling, right? But those who are not spiritual, they only sense what they're feeling in the flesh. Like, so they just want to. My point is, you want to prove yourself in your own feelings instead of allowing yourself to step outside of what you're feeling and feel what God is feeling, right? Or feel what God is doing in the world. And that can only happen through humbling yourself. You know, when we want to consider other people, we have to humble ourselves.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it, you got to humble yourself, or else you're only going to go into judgment.
Yeah. Or you go into strategy, because I saw this clip from CNN kind of like trying to understand what this means politically. I'll play this real quick, Mom. Pull this up.
It was the first time that I'd ever heard Erica Kirk speak publicly. I think that's the case for a lot of people. Would it be an overstatement to say that we witnessed the birth of a political star?
Well, certainly, I think both in the immediate aftermath of the assassination, when she spoke in a video presentation, and here you see that she was, as she describes, also a full partner in this movement with Charlie Kirk. So I don't think she is coming into this cold, right? This is clearly something that has been a joint force in their household, and I think our reporting has suggested she informed. When asked, how much are you aware, as somebody was saying this in our air earlier, of like what is going on in the organization, she's like, I know everything, absolutely everything that's going on. So I do think she is a political force. There's no doubt about it. And she's now in a position that, her star could certainly rise here. I mean, it was indeed an astonishing tribute to her husband, and also just a planted moment of someone trying to capture the attention of everyone in this room and around the world watching, not just about her personal pain, but about the purpose this moment of pain can serve from here on out.
Me watching that when I first saw it, I was like, yo, they're trying so hard to like not praise her, even though like they know it can't say anything bad, because how do you criticize that? Yeah. Not only she's mourning, like that was a great speech. Like it was, she did an amazing job, and like everything she touched on was just about positivity. There was no negative. The most negative thing she said was about men getting your life together, and then came after women too about what they need to do to be better wives. And it's just funny, like watching them trying to strategize. Like, is this going to be the new, conservative political star? Where is she going to fit into the politics of it all? Like, that's how their brains are working.
It reminds me of the Pharisees.
Yeah. Yep. That's a great point.
Something that's interesting that stuck out is when she said "Lost Boys."
Yeah, Lost Boys of the West. I thought about that too when I was watching
it. Made me think of Peter Pan.
Yep, exactly.
And if you think about it, like, who helped Peter Pan? It was the girl.
Yeah, Wendy.
Right, Wendy.
Yeah.
And I think there is something to women even rising. I think that's even the connection to Esther.
Yeah.
Women rising in terms of encouraging young men instead of looking at them and talking down to them.
Yeah.
But speaking up to them, right? Encouraging them.
Or what we've been seeing over the last, 30 years, women trying to place themselves above men in this like way of saying like women are actually better than men. Mm-hmm. Men are beneath us.
The feminist movement.
Yeah. But a virtuous woman is somebody who recognizes the husband's role.
Yeah.
Recognizes the role of men, is not in fear of it, is not intimidated by it.
Yeah.
And I think Lost Boys were caught up in not wanting to grow up because of triggers, because of hurts, because of loss.
Yeah.
Lost boys because of loss, right? And I just thinking about this stuff, Peter Pan, the Pan God.
Mm-hmm.
The Pan God was the god of shepherds. The Pan God in Greek mythology had to do with, it was a half goat, half man.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it interesting that even now, like this today is the Yom Teruah, which is the blowing of the shofar,
mm-hmm.
right? But then after that, there's 10 days, and then you have the day of Av, or Ava, which means to suffer, right? And that's connected to this Azazel goat, right? One gets sacrificed, one gets the scapegoat that gets let out into the wilderness, right?
Right.
So you have this connection to the goat, and this is where all of the sins of Israel would get placed, where the nation gets placed on the goat, where it stemmed from, where did it come from? And even the word Pan also means all, right?
Yeah.
So Azazel all sin was connected to Azazel, right? This is the word Azazel, which was this scapegoat. Ascribe all sin. I think it says that. Ascribe all sin to Azazel. So you have this connection to where does sin come from?
Wasn't Azazel one of the name of one of the watchers in the book of Enoch that they say was like the one who basically was the originator of sin?
Yeah, connected to warfare and making weapons and beautifying women, you know, a lot of these different things. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you think about what I said even earlier, empathy, caught up in our emotions, when you just continue that cycle, you never get out.
Mm-hmm.
And every loss brings you deeper and deeper into bondage.
Yeah.
It brings you deeper and deeper into sin because it brings you deeper and deeper into bitterness. And if you look at, that's what so many young men are dealing with. That's what this young man that shot Charlie Kirk was dealing with, right? And so love is needed there.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's gonna deal with this is the love of God that surpasses all knowledge. You know, not being rooted in bitterness, but being rooted in love. And to be rooted in love, you got to go through loss and turn to God. You got to go through loss and turn to God again. You got to go through loss and turn to God again. And then everything you lose, but you gain Christ. Every time you lose, you gain Christ. And that's it's a total shift. I lose on earth, but I gain heaven. I gain Christ. And that's what we learn as believers, right? We learn that every loss is a gain in Christ. Paul talked about that. And now we're truly learning how to be rooted and grounded in the love of Christ that surpasses all knowledge. Because what are people putting their knowledge in? Well, you don't understand what I've been through. You don't know, you don't understand who I feel that I am. See, again, empathy, caught up in their feelings, right?
Yeah.
Caught up in your own, how you see things because of how you feel. What you've gone through.
My truth.
Your truth. Yeah, all these things. And I think right now we're at this point where are we going to fight people in the wrong way or in the right way? Are we going to fight the fight of faith, trusting in how God can do the work and touch people in deep ways with his love, and we lean into that and we love people because he first loved us? Or are we going to just try to fight them on a very surface level that never gets to the deep-rooted issues in people's hearts where there is bitterness that they can let go of? And when Kim Clement said that she pours out the oil of gladness, that's in Isaiah 61 where it talks about liberty, right?
Yeah.
Where it proclaim freedom, liberty, right? And how our mourning will turn into joy, right? Where the ashes, what were ashes, turns into what, Mom?
Ashes turn to what? I don't know that one.
Oh, I thought you knew Isaiah.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And the one about ashes?
No, I'll read it real quick.
Yeah,
just because I think this is like what is happening right now. Because the more we're rooted and grounded in love, the more we become strong, right? And we become like a strong tree. So Isaiah 61, and this is what Jesus read, not all of it, but part of it, when he proclaimed that he is this anointed person. And it says, the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news, the gospel, good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, to open up the prisons to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of favor, to proclaim the year of liberty, the day of vengeance of the Lord, to comfort all who mourn, to grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give them beauty, a beautiful headdress, a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a faint spirit. That means you can't take it no more. You can't do anything. You're weary. You're done. I'm done. How many times have people said, I'm done, right? And when you're done, there's no more talking. When you're done, bitterness comes in. When you're done, you want to go to war, right, against people. There's no more talking. Then it says that they may be called oaks of righteousness. Oaks represent strength in the Bible. It represents a strong tree. Oak trees were cut down to build frames. Oak trees were, it wasn't about beauty, it was about strength, right? So oaks, they will be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. They shall build up the ancient ruins. They shall raise up the former devastations. They shall repair the ruined cities and the devastation of many generations. So what many generations in the past let go of, forgot, didn't take honor in, didn't think there was anything of significance there. We see all this stuff happening in this country, right?
Yeah.
We forget what was the point of all these things. Now we're starting to remember them all. Now we're starting to bring them back. This is what happens when we turn our hearts to the Lord. Oh, marriage is important. Oh, these things are important. Men in their roles are important. Women in their roles are important. All these things that we thought, it's just, no, everybody's just kumbaya and you can do whatever you want. See, that's pan, right? All. It's just all encompassing. Doesn't matter what you do, who you are, what you think. We're just all a happy family. No, you become lost because you forgot where you came from. You forgot how this country was established on the ideas that came from God. On the ideas, freedom, where does it come from? It comes from Jesus. And when we forget where these things come from, we lose. We become weak, right? And when you're weak, you fall for anything. When you're weak, devastation comes in. When you're weak, destruction comes in. And that's what we've been seeing in this country. But because of the love of God, because of the mercy of God, because of the grace of God, we're starting to see how he's building people up, right? To go out and to speak like Charlie Kirk, and build this country back better. Not like Biden tried to do,
Right.
but with true integrity, and to make America great again. Well, people say, how was America ever great? Because we trusted in God. There were, not all, but there were those who put their trust in God. There were those who trusted in the ideas and the revelations that came from God, and they lived them out. And when we forget them, America's not great anymore. America's not great because it's just great. America was great because of the founding statutes and principles that are from God, that are from the Bible, that are from the Spirit of God. So when we trust in those things again, when we trust in God again, those things come back. When we look to God, when we turn to God, when we repent, these things start to come back, start to grow again, start to build again. And I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but I just wanted to make, like, this is what's happening. And I'm pumped. I'm excited. I've been crying so much over the last couple weeks just because of what I see God doing. And I'm happy. I'm joyful for people. I'm praying for people who have bitterness and have hate in their heart. All the people that are saying stuff against what is going on, against Charlie Kirk, against all this stuff that we see is good. we got to pray for these people. We can't laugh at them. We can't, ha, look at what you get. No, we got to pray for these people because it's only the love of God that can shift their perspective, that can shift their minds, that can turn their hearts from what they're doing.
And I was going to say, Jake, about when you say pray, that's the main thing God is always showing me, prayer, because 2 Chronicles 7:14, I have to say that scripture again. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then I shall hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal the land. So the more people that pray, that really pray and seek God, God is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to move. And he's moving.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let me show one more clip of Charlie Kirk here. This is for all the people that keep continually calling him a white supremacist and a racist. This is Charlie Kirk actually confronting an actual white supremacist and what he said to this guy.
I want to ask a question of you. What does it mean to be an American? Is it an idea or a history, a shared history, or is it a skin color?
Well, I mean, you could go back to the original founding fathers, the Immigration Act of, I believe it was.
What does it mean to be an American? Is it a skin color or something else?
So there's the current idea of what it means according to the Hart-Celler Immigration Act and all this bullshit that you guys spew. But if you go back to the original founding fathers, they intended this to be a European nation for white men of good stock and character.
So can you show me? Let me answer the question. Can you show me where in the United States Constitution it says that?
It wasn't in the Constitution.
It wasn't in the Constitution because they didn't believe it. You, sir, they did not put it in the United States Let me ask you another question since you support. Allow him to have the mic. Let me ask you another question,
Founding
sir.
fathers wrote many
What
other
does the
documents
phrase,
other than the United
sir,
States Constitution, and they made it
sir,
explicitly clear.
What does the phrase "e pluribus unum" mean? What does the phrase "e pluribus unum" mean?
Why is that relevant?
Because it was on every founding document and presidential seal from our founding, which means
stating
out
they
of
believe
many
this country
one.
should be a
You, sir,
European nation.
and your ideology is not conservative. It is right-wing, identitarian, and has no place in the conservative movement, my friend. Get out of line. Get out of line.
But this guy is a white supremacist, though.
Yeah.
He's that should be his boy.
Yeah.
That should be his best friend.
Yep.
They believe the same thing.
Yep.
He told this dude, you have no place in the conservative movement. You have no standing. This is not constitutional. The founding fathers did not believe in this. And this is why he pushes back against the CRT movement and, DEI and all this stuff, because it gives that false narrative that the founding documents are inherently racist when they weren't. Like, yeah, racism existed at the time, but the document itself does say that we are all created equal. So it's just interesting. And I wanted to play that because you have this clip from MSNBC where this woman is talking about what this Charlie Kirk movement, what she's seeing happen in the country. So pull this up real quick.
What you are seeing here is a movement called Christian nationalism that merges Christianity as it's been practiced in America for, centuries with a very specific interpretation of what the founding fathers wanted, what Aristotle wanted, going all the way back to the ancients. You saw Larry Arnn, who is the president of Hillsdale College and a proponent of this strain of interpretation of the Bible, merge Christianity and protecting the Western civilization values into one and the same thing. It's a very somewhat convoluted argument, but if you distill it into the right talking points, it really hits you in the patriotic heart area, as it were.
So what she's trying to do, and this is what a lot of people on the left try to do, especially all of the race baiters, the Jasmine Crockett's, the Jamel Hills, the Joy Reids, all of them, they try to conflate what Turning Point is preaching and what conservatism and modern Christianity is preaching, and they try to conflate that with what that white nationalist was talking about.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say that this is Christian nationalists, which they're trying to make them the same thing.
Yep.
And it's not the same thing.
Once you put that nationalist at the end of it,
yeah,
it just sounds today it sounds like it's, you might as well say white supremacist.
Well, that was Candace Owens' whole argument about when they tried to say she was a Hitler lover because she said that
Hitler was a nationalist.
Hitler was they try to use Hitler as but he wasn't a nationalist. They try to point to Hitler as that term nationalist being a negative term. They try to use that as the reasoning for why that's a scary phrase. You know? Yeah.
Something that's interesting about that whole thing is that you shouldn't want your country's government to be Christian.
Yeah.
Meaning like, oh, we're Christian. Because the moment you do that, you think you've won. It's like you don't get it. Like the ideas are where the battle is.
Right.
It's not if we say like how many times, oh, I'm Christian, oh, you're Christian, we're Christian, oh, cool, we're all good. No, you're not.
Right.
Because the more you get to find out about that person, you'll realize, okay, you got flaws, we got flaws. We need Jesus, right? We need Jesus.
Yeah.
And so that we're not all good, right? Nobody's good, not one. And so it's constant growing and learning. So if you like have we're a Catholic nation, we're that it becomes that, right? No, we're only Protestant. It's just going to be more infighting.
Yeah.
If you want to make an identity, instead of saying, no, we are going to go into these places. We're going to go into the government. And that's what you see happening. Like all these people who are in the government now, they're different. They're from different veins of quote unquote Christianity, right? But you come together on the idea of the roots of it, loving people, right? You hold people accountable. And that's where we can do that every day, just on like a basis level of we're around each other and you see somebody snap on, like Jamie snaps on someone like, hey, Jamie, you shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
Right? Just that simple thing. Hey, you shouldn't have, that policy, it sounds good now, but it's actually going to do damage down the line because you're trying to protect people, but is it based out of fear? Because if it's based out of fear, it's going to hurt us later on down the line, right? And it seems good for right now, but later on you can see that. That's my point. We can see how these things can destroy us, and that's not what this movement is.
Right.
This movement, that's not what Charlie Kirk talked about.
Yeah.
It's always about the ideas and learning what is God doing? Who is he? The more we learn who he is, the more we can learn who we are, the more we can refine. It's not about pushing it on anybody.
Right.
We don't want to push if we make people like think about the new world and they made people Catholic. You know, I'm talking about the 1400s into the 1500s. When they find the new world, America, and they're trying to make people turn to become Christians, even like the Native Americans, where they push that on them, Catholic or even Protestant, in some where you're making them become quote unquote civilized. These things never work.
Yeah.
You can't force anybody to do something, right? But what you can do is argue the best ideas.
Mm-hmm.
How is this going to work out? Right? You might not always have the answer, but you know what you can argue? That doesn't work. Right? What you want to do is not working, and here's the proof of it. And I think that was something that Charlie was good at too. Like he didn't always have the answer for everything. Well, what's your solution? He didn't always have the answer, but he did point out, well, where you're going with it, we know all the data on that.
Right.
We know where that leads us. And so that can't be the way we go. And we have to keep on seeking for the truth in these instances. But again, mischaracterizations are going to happen from people that have bad intentions. They're going to try to mischaracterize you. They're going to try to mischaracterize MAGA, right? How many times you've heard MAGA called a cult?
Yeah.
Right? They're
they even, use the tactic of dehumanizing, calling people maggots, and referring to them as bugs and insects. I mean, these are the tactics of those trying to dehumanize somebody to the point where you don't even see their life as valuable.
Right. And that, so you see it like, if I can say, oh, these people are this, therefore I'm putting a label on it, and now you put a check mark in somebody's head, I can hate them, I can dislike them. But when we fight back on these things, when we can debate these things, it's not that cut and dry, right? When you want to hear the side of it's the same thing on the other side. Oh, they're just hair. Oh, they got purple hair.
Blue-haired liberals.
They're left wing.
Yeah.
You know, they hate everybody. Like, no. If you sit and you talk to people,
I just say they have that look. And they do have that look.
They have a look. There is a look.
There is a sect.
There's a look, just like there's a look to people who are in hip hop culture, right?
Yeah.
Deeply in hip hop culture. There is a look, but does that mean you can say, okay, they might be into this, they might be into that. But my point is that when you just mischaracterize them and you just conclude that they are deplorable and there is no hope for them, that's demonic. Every time.
That's where I don't.
Yeah.
Surprise me.
All right, let's keep going. I gotta get to this Jimmy Kimmel story before it's getting late. Like we're going long on but yeah, I gotta get to this story. So Jimmy Kimmel, tonight he's supposed to get his show back. You know, over the last week since this whole thing happened with Charlie Kirk, Jimmy Kimmel was lost his show because of this comment right here.
New lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
So he made that statement, and one of the main criticisms from that was the fact that this was like right after this just happened, and the information had already been out there that this guy was not a MAGA supporter. He was clearly radicalized by the left wing, which is what his family had said, and Jimmy Kimmel purposely came out there and lied and tried to blame it on the right wing because they need that narrative to be the reason why.
But you're supposed to be a comedy show.
Yeah. Which
you're not funny. That wasn't a joke. Where was the joke?
The joke that the fourth stage of grief, which is construction, you can say that that's a joke, making fun of the fact that Trump is instead of saying how he feels, he's talking about the construction, you know. But people know that he didn't really hear what was happening, so he just kind of was talking. But anyway, the problem is that, like Jake was just saying, when you start going down this road of like, we feel like you shouldn't be able to say certain things, and if you do say the things that we don't like, then you shouldn't be able to speak, or we shouldn't have to hear it, or you should be canceled. Then you open up that door for it to happen to you.
Yeah. And
we've been hearing this for over the last 8 years, that people should be fired. You know, people should their shows should be taken away from them. People have been canceled, and now that Jimmy Kimmel lost his job, there was all this outrage, and they tried to turn it into this is free speech.
Right?
This is an attack on free speech. Trump is trying to silence all of his critics, and just like they said about Colbert. But we find out that what actually happened was Disney, ABC. Well, not only that, they had a meeting with him and said that, listen, we want to bring the temperature down a little bit. Like, this just happened. We don't want to.
Oh, you're talking about Kimmel?
Yeah, they had a meeting with Kimmel,
right.
and they talked to him about bringing the temperature down, and they actually asked him to apologize, and he refused. He refused to apologize, and he said he was going to go back out there and make more statements. He wasn't going to tamp down what he was talking about. So then they made the decision to just pull the show. You remember they did that to Joe Scarborough after the day after the Trump assassination. Remember, because they were worried about what he was going to say. So they shut their show down for a couple of days. Like, I think shows are trying to take that tactic because they can't control these people. They're not trying to censor them, but they're just like, all right, well, you're not having a show until further notice. Right. You know what I mean? Because Jimmy Kimmel. And, of course, I'm sure it had something to do with the ratings. I mean, we can show the ratings graph. I have it somewhere.
Yeah, late night talk shows have been, terrible with ratings.
Especially him.
Yeah. With free speech, though, right?
Yeah.
We have free speech, but that doesn't like you're an employee of whoever your employer is, right? Say I'm gonna give an example because my wife is in this field, education, right? You say something publicly that don't align with the school or the district. They have a right. You can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But the consequences of you being fired, they can do whatever they want. Your employer, if they feel like they don't agree with that and that don't align with what their values are,
just
and
because
it makes them look a certain way, they're gonna drop you.
They can drop, and every company does it.
They have a right to drop you.
Not only
legally.
The problem, the other problem with, like, not only does that not actually attack freedom of speech, because Kimmel, let's be real, he could go on any show. He could have went to MSNBC. He could start a YouTube channel, and no one is suppressing his speech. But when it was happening on the other foot, they cheered, they celebrated, they laughed about it. This is the chart showing
of them. Tucker.
Yeah, this is the chart showing the ratings right here. Like, look how his ratings have been going down. And my theory is, I feel like, just like Colbert, ABC probably doesn't really want to renew his contract because late night show is a dying outlet. It's dying.
Yeah.
Right? His show is dying.
Look, that chart.
The show is dying. The whole outlet is dying, right? And I feel like they saw this as an opportunity, because if they can terminate him on the basis of, like, some kind of moral clause, they have these things in their contracts. They probably were trying to take that opportunity to see if they could get out of their contract, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a moral clause.
But they gave an opportunity, though. Met with him. All right, look.
Yeah.
If you apologize.
And he doubled down.
Yeah.
And the other part of it was that these affiliate stations, two of their biggest affiliate companies that, control the local stations, they were the ones that said, we're not going to air the show because of they were getting audience backlash from people in their local areas that were outraged at what he said. So the local affiliates were like, we're not going to air the Kimmel show. We're going to play a Charlie Kirk tribute instead of playing Kimmel.
Yeah.
And that was another reason why they decided to make that move, because they're already struggling for advertisers and they're not making no money. So it's a way bigger, but people tried to make it about the head of the FCC going on Benny Johnson's thing and just saying that, like, people need to be held accountable, and they're going to look into people, these corporations that aren't adhering to the guidelines, that are just, because look at all those late night shows. They have never had a conservative on there. They don't interview them. They won't talk to them. So there has to be some kind of violation there, but they feel like they have the freedom to do whatever they want. So, that's
I think let these people talk and just dig themselves into a deeper and deeper hole, because that's the only way they're going to be humble.
Yeah, but the problem is you have a lot of business attached to it. So these local affiliates like Sinclair and Nexstar, they make money off of selling advertisements. If they can't sell ads off of your show because you have pissed off the fan base to where people aren't tuning in, now they don't want to air your show anymore. So now that's going to go back to ABC. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I'm talking about the ones who are like kind of saying like, oh, he should just be off the air. He shouldn't be allowed to say that, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of who I'm talking to.
Yeah,
like,
that you can't. I don't agree with that. You should not be calling for anyone to be taken off the air because they said something you didn't like. Because then you are advocating for people not to be able to say what they want. And that is not what the Constitution is about. We should not be trying to silence people.
There should be. It's different because the news should be held accountable.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, like, you know, we have that law that went into play. They took off. Obama destroyed. I forget the name of the law, but basically holding
the Months Act.
Yeah, where it basically held
indoctrination is legal.
Propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda. Yeah. But now, hopefully, we can do something about that. I would say that the news should have to report what is true.
And I think they're talking about reinstating that. They've been kicking that around lately, reinstating that, because that was actually set up because they knew that the CIA was going into other countries and infiltrating their media spaces and propagandizing these other countries so that we could get leverage in these other countries. So when they knew that they were going to be doing that, they came up with the Smith-Months Act or something like that, so that to make it illegal for them to do that here to us. But then quietly Obama repealed that and removed that. So now they're legally allowed to lie to us and propagandize their own people. Yeah.
And so I think that should be dealt with. But in the sense of like somebody like a Jimmy Kimmel, they're jokes and he should be allowed to say whatever he wants to say. Obviously, it's gonna be blowback with ratings. Because people shouldn't, again, like, this is why we got social media and we can talk about it, we can critique it, because you're lying, dude. You're straight up lying.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about these things. We gotta expose, like, what are you even talking about? We gotta expose these things so that he can be held accountable in that way.
The problem is the FCC chair goes on that podcast and gives them the ammunition because he mentioned Jimmy Kimmel and made it seem like that they were going to put pressure on ABC to target him. And when Trump and the FCC chair had nothing to do with this, but that gave them the talking point, you know, that everyone needed to say that Trump is trying to silence people. And, you know, let me just play a little bit of stuff before we move on from this.
Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far-right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days. There's a lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night. Here's where it became interesting earlier today. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on a far-right webcast and condemned Kimmel and urged ABC to suspend him. He also talked about possible regulatory punishment.
He condemned him, but he didn't urge ABC to suspend him.
Of Disney, because there are lots of different stations that have licenses with the FCC. Within the past hour, we've heard from a big owner of stations that have affiliations with ABC, a company called Nexstar, saying that they were going to suspend Kimmel's show on their station. So in other words, about 24 stations were refusing to air Kimmel's show tonight as a result of this controversy. And then following word that some of those stations were basically revolting against Kimmel, Disney, the parent company.
And Sinclair was another one, a huge one that came out afterwards saying that they were going to do the same thing. Now that's the free market speaking, because their audience said, we're not going to watch this. So then they said, well, then we can't air this, you know.
And money talk, right?
Right, exactly. And that's what you're talking about, Jake. You let the free market speak. But I just want to get through a bunch of this stuff because I want to show you, like, the mindset. This is flagrant. And Akash has been, like, ever since they had Trump on their podcast, he's, like, been on this mission to prove to everybody that he's not he doesn't like Trump. Like he got a bunch of backlash from his community apparently. So like he's gonna make some statements here that just sound ridiculous. Let me speed this up a little bit.
A big attack on free speech. And yeah, I think we've been pretty staunchly in favor of free speech. And it is funny to watch right-wing people just become left-wing people. Because I said something about how you're a snowflake if you think you should be. If you agree with this, that's some snowflake shit. And somebody was like, you clearly don't even know what the First Amendment means. And that's exactly what left-wing people used to tell me.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences.
Right.
So y'all have just switched.
Yeah.
Now, again, this has nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk. That's a fucking horrendous thing. Let's get that out of the way. But in terms of censorship, freedom of speech is more under attack now, honestly, than I think it has ever been. I don't...
Yeah, look, Mark even said, more than it's ever been, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we just found out today, again, that Google was censoring only right-wing conservatives.
Yep.
We found out from the Twitter files that the government was involved with only banning right-wing accounts.
Is that because of money? Is that
No.
You know,
It has nothing to do with it.
Because
that's
of
called
revenue?
silencing the opposition.
Right.
That's silencing the opposition. What about Roseanne being fired?
Yep.
What about Tucker being
being
fired? You know, but yeah, he's saying that it's more under attack now.
Megyn Kelly
Megyn
got fired.
Megyn
for
Kelly
talking
got
about Halloween costume.
Megyn Kelly got fired for talking about blackface. Jimmy Kimmel's getting his job back, and this is him.
They're defending. It's like the upside down world to me, bro. You're talking about a guy who did the Man Show.
Yes.
That was like when we were kids. I
Right.
remember how like raunchy. My dad was like, "What the hell?
What are you watching?
What
Yeah.
is this?" He's like wearing blackface. There was girls jumping on trampolines with nothing on.
Right.
He would do skits.
He would do sexual acts to girls that were unassumed, that weren't paying attention.
And he would go up to random women. Do you want to have sex with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is who they're defending. He would go into public and ask women, just to get their, reaction. Do you want to have sex with me?
Yeah.
That's the guy who they're defending.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like that's an attack on freedom of speech. Let me show you this this article. Like I was saying, today we found out when they testified in front of Congress, Google admits censorship under Biden, promises to end bans on YouTube accounts, and thousands of Americans censored for political speech. Today, thanks to the oversight chair, Jim Jordan, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off of YouTube due to political speech violations on topics such as COVID-19 and the elections an opportunity to return to the platform. Now, remember, the Biden administration and a bunch of people on the left were in control of all of these social media platforms. And but even before the Biden administration,
FBI.
Yeah, the FBI had a backdoor into these platforms when they were trying to do this coup against Trump.
Yep.
And remember the Hunter Biden
Hunter
laptop,
Biden
all of that. Yeah, so Google admitted to the following to the House Judiciary Committee. 1, the Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies. 2, the Biden administration's censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. 3, public debate should never come at the expense of relying authorities. What? 4, the company will never use third-party fact checkers. 5, Europe's censorship laws target American companies and threaten American speech, including the removal of lawful content. All of these admissions came today during an oversight committee. And then this is Stephen A. again, his reaction to
The
this.
only thing that I would say as it pertains to Jimmy Kimmel was, where was the joke? Because you're a late night host. And obviously that has a comedic attachment to it. Where was the joke?
That's what you said.
Obviously it wasn't.
I didn't think it was
funny
funny.
about that.
Yeah, and that was the problem.
You're
A lot of people didn't think it was funny.
Who's the famous late night show guy? Old guy. They had asked
Johnny
him,
Carson?
Was it Johnny Carson? It might have been John. I think it was Johnny. I think it was Johnny Carson. But they had asked him like,
oh yeah, why doesn't he do political stuff?
Do political things? Because we're supposed to be entertained.
This is supposed to be lighthearted, and
Yes.
it's not supposed to be heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, Late Show have been nothing but since Trump.
I think ever since Trump, these late night shows have lost their mind. Like it's just been nonstop, just TDS.
The derangement is crazy, dude.
Dave Smith had a great tweet on X about this. He said, "Call me crazy, but I thought the major violation of free speech last week was when the free speech guy got shot in the neck for promoting free speech. Evidently, it was the vaccine salesman with terrible ratings getting fired." Yeah, like that. They were going crazy about free speech over Jimmy Kimmel, but didn't care nothing
the
about
guy who had a microphone.
Yeah,
that represents. Anybody can come here and talk, and let's hash it out. He was the free speech guy.
Yeah.
And they didn't cry about that at all.
But the guy who lost his cushy job on ABC doing late night, that's a infringement of, that's authoritarian. That's dictatorship.
Yeah.
Let's get a little. Go ahead.
I meant to say this before, but I don't like to judge people, but the dude, like I just talked about it, the Man Show.
Yeah.
And he like criticized Trump for his moral compass.
Moral compass all the time.
All the time, but the stuff that you put out, in entertainment, have been like some of the raunchiest stuff.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite. 100%.
Total 100% hypocrite.
Yeah.
Especially
even when it comes to him complaining about this. Let's show some of the hypocrisy at work here.
Trump has been suspended from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even Snapchat. But don't worry, Mr. President, there are still plenty of apps you do have access to. You still have Spotify to drown out the sound of millions of people cheering as you leave. You still have Pet Finder since you're on the outs with Mike Pence. You have Cameo, which will soon be your primary source of income. You can still play Among Us, a game where everyone accuses each other of being against them. You'd love it. You could play Pokemon Go. You and Donnie Jr. can hunt Pikachus together. And when no one else wants you, don't forget, there's always your old friend, the Domino's Pizza Tracker. Not only did Trump get banned from Twitter, Google, Apple, and Amazon removed the Parler app from their platforms. Parler is where all the right-wingers gather to post QAnon nonsense and misspell the word parlor. And no one was more upset about Parler going away than a sneaky little congressman named Devin.
But it's more than just the financial aspect of that. Republicans have no way to communicate. I have 3 million followers on Parler. Tonight, I will no longer be able to communicate with those people.
I mean, other than being on Fox News right now. Why does Devin Nunes always look like somebody knocked his ice cream out of his hand? Trumpers are complaining bitterly that they're being silenced. In fact, they won't shut up about being silenced. On their 3 propaganda TV networks, on 1,000 conservative radio shows, all over the internet, they are screaming about being silenced. They won't.
So, again, hypocrisy at its best. You're talking about Trump being removed from all of the social media platforms at once, where he had to create his own. And then the one platform that the conservatives had made where they could communicate, where they had amassed all these followings, they totally removed that from the App Store.
Yep.
And he joked about this like it was funny. And he actually praised it.
He has no moral compass. It's only there when something happens to him.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the hypocrisy of it.
And you see the childishness of it, because like all of that right there that I watched is literally like a ha-ha.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah. What you gonna do now? Like, look, if you can see this right here, this is him tweeting "Goodbye, Mother Tucker" when Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox.
Yeah.
His smug attitude.
He's literally like the guy who, I'll talk about the Eagles versus Dallas. He's the Dallas fan, especially around us.
Yeah.
The South Jersey Dallas fan that is surrounded by Eagles fans and always wants to talk
just
crap.
Wants to troll everybody. But then when you mess with, or how about the Redskins fan that loves talking trash, but then when you take a picture of them looking salty because the Redskins lost, they get sad and want you to take the picture down.
Right.
This is a picture of him when Roseanne got fired, and listen to what he said. And ABC, to their credit, didn't waste any time. They canceled her show today. I'm not a fan of censorship, but this wasn't about free speech. He said it was about consequences for saying something vile. You can say what you want, but networks don't have to pay you to say it. You can't just blame Ambien for the actions. You can't for that. Actions have consequences, and ABC made the right call.
Oh.
This was his reaction to Roseanne.
You need to listen to yourself.
Like, Okay, so all of a
But
sudden,
you guys,
this is censorship and the attack on freedom of speech. But where was
but you
that
guys
energy?
think he doesn't think it's vile what he said. He doesn't think there's anything wrong with what he said.
Yeah,
In his mind,
You're denying. He's straight up denying everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he's like really deranged. If he's looking at all the facts of this kid, you know, and his life and his trans roommate.
yeah, and the furry.
And-
Apparently, they were playing furry games and
Yeah.
like, yeah,
And you,
even like the etchings on the bullets, the Discord
Yeah,
community they were
yeah.
a part of. There was so much evidence to show where they
the
were.
Antifa, you know,
Yeah.
writing on the bullets and stuff. It's like I don't know. Give them eyes to see. I don't know.
What's interesting is his show is supposed to come back on tonight.
Is it on?
And everyone's wondering what he's gonna say. I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to pull it up. Maybe they'll have some clips of his monologue on X. What time does that show air?
Is it late? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet.
I used to watch. I wasn't really a late night fan. But
I liked Conan.
I watched. I was about to say. I thought Conan was funny.
Yeah.
He was probably the only one that I thought was funny.
I thought this was funny. Elon Musk hit Ben Stiller with one of his own lines because he came out there. First of all, Hollywood came to the rescue apparently there was they wrote this letter and attacked Disney saying that they better bring his show back.
Yeah.
And there was also someone shot up an ABC affiliate in California. That played a factor in why they brought his show back too, letting these people believe that terrorism is going to get them their way again. You know, but all the violence is on the right.
Yeah.
So he said, this isn't right. Breaking Disney's ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel's. Blah, blah, blah. So Elon responds to that and goes, he went full retard. Never go full retard. Yeah, Harry says
Elon Musk is a troll.
By the way, did you see Elon with Trump?
Yeah, that was a huge.
did
And he
not.
said, and he tweeted. Elon tweeted that and said for Charlie, Charlie brought them back together. Yeah, so I think the word empathy that made up the new age term did a lot of damage to Charlie Kirk's carotid artery. This is the guy that shot up this guy right here. This is the guy that shot up the ABC building. Let me see. So earlier today, this was 9/20/25. Anibal Hernandez Santana, 64, ex-legislative director for California Fed of Teachers, arrested in Sacramento for shooting into an ABC affiliate building window. He shot up an ABC affiliate building, shot into the window because of Jimmy Kimmel. Went to his local ABC 10 building.
Mental illness.
But this is the left.
Mm-hmm.
But this also played a factor of why they brought the show back. You know, here goes a very cringy CNN segment of this woman comparing the Hollywood entertainers to the Avengers.
Well, I think what we're seeing here, it almost feels like the Avengers. It feels like Hollywood came together with the left and Jimmy Kimmel's audience, and they really kind of formed in what felt unstoppable. You know, I was talking to a friend as soon as the news broke who said, oh, we had to have known this was going to happen with everybody saying that they were going to cancel, and also with these major celebrities like Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks and Jennifer Aniston coming out to complain. So it feels like we've gotten this whole thing in front of what people like to refer to as the normies, the people who are not chronically online, who are now having the conversation about where this country is headed. And because of Jimmy Kimmel and because of him being pulled off air. So who would have ever thought that late night TV would be as powerful as it is in terms of having conversations about democracy, Pam? But that's exactly where we are right now.
Yeah, the Avengers got Jimmy Kimmel back on air. The View.
And to all my friends in Italy who reached out, you have to know it's okay. We're still here. We're still broadcasting. And when the news broke last week about Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, we took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it first. We did the same thing with Stephen Colbert. Then our show was on tape on Friday. But we are live here today, and we're getting into it now.
I love how these people act like they're just fighting for freedom in this country. Like, you did nothing.
Yeah.
You guys live your cushy lives. You didn't want to speak on this because you didn't know where it was going to go.
Yep.
Like, just tell the truth.
You were scared
You
to be
didn't
on the wrong side,
yeah,
right?
You didn't know what was going to happen, so you didn't want to speak on it. But it's all good. It's all good, Whoopi.
Yeah, I think they look and they judge. If we get enough people talking, then we're good.
Yeah.
Like, but this is why we have to continue to expose this type of stuff and show, like, these people are disingenuous, they're fake,
They're gaslighters. They're hypocrites. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more hypocritical video before we get out of here, because this is Kimmel again, making fun and having a joke about Tucker Carlson.
Fox News has severed bow ties with Tucker Carlson. After all these years, they are parting ways, which means he was fired. I mean, that's really what parting ways means.
And they cheer.
Tucker couldn't be reached for comment. He's already on a plane to Moscow to meet with his manager. But what a shock. I mean, what an absolutely delightful shock this is. Now Tucker can spend more time at home tanning his testicles and touching himself to that sexy green M&M. Sadly, he's probably not done poisoning old people's brains. The question now is, where will he do it next? Will he go to OAN? Will he go to Newsmax? Will he crawl back up Satan's fiery beehole from whence he came? We don't know. One of the most despicable mother Tuckers ever to appear on American television.
So, again, it's all fun and games when it happens to other people. It's just jokes. He can go anywhere, and he can go on another network.
Yeah.
You could have did the same thing, buddy.
Yep.
So how is it all of a sudden?
Tucker blew up Twitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he did. But it's just, how is it all of a sudden a authoritarian attack on free speech and the First Amendment when you lose your job for something that you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the part of it that is just like, wow.
And what's sad is that he probably don't even see it.
Yeah, I know. That's why
he don't see it.
I'm interested to see what his monologue is tonight, because apparently he was going to address it in his monologue, and I'm sure he's going to say some snarky stuff about how Trump didn't win and blah, blah, blah. But I honestly think that ABC wants out of that contract. Colbert is losing them $40 million. How much money you think he's losing, ABC and Disney, every year?
So, his ratings is like just dropping.
Yeah.
It's like it's
exponentially.
Step.
Yeah.
Step. The ground.
So they might play out the rest of his contract just to save face now, because maybe he threatened to sue them. Maybe their lawyers talked it out and realized that, they really couldn't fire him on moral grounds. So, they couldn't get out of the contract. So now they have to bring him back on the air, because those local affiliates said that Sinclair and Nexstar said they're still not airing him tonight.
Yeah.
So they're not back on board. They'd rather play. They said they're going to play local news because Jimmy Kimmel don't bring no ratings.
Yep.
So clearly they need to finish out the rest of their contract. I'm pretty sure
and
ABC
they'll probably hurt them more if they do play it, because wherever, I don't know where their base is or whatever.
They're all over. They're one of those affiliates that own like multiple stations in different regions. But yeah, a lot of their areas are red areas.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear.
If it doesn't make sense to them business-wise, then, they don't have to.
Yeah. And I think the Charlie Kirk thing really, really changed the atmosphere of like people just being okay with you just lying now. Like you could lie to people about Trump and they can probably accept it. But when they saw what happened to Charlie Kirk and then you went and said that, a lot of people wasn't having that. And I think like he said, you have the freedom to say what you want, but you don't have the freedom from consequences. Yep. Ain't that what he said?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's wrap it up there, guys. It's late. We didn't even get into Trump announcing the Tylenol autism stuff. We didn't get to that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was a whole press conference about that and talking about vaccines and like, man, they're doing some stuff. And people are out. People on TikTok are making videos of pregnant women taking Tylenol now to stick it to Trump. Like, that is the level of TDS. Yeah. People on TikTok are downing Tylenol while they're pregnant just because Trump came out and said this, which is backed by, studies from Harvard and all these other affiliates that did these studies. This is medically backed, but again, the people don't want to listen to it. So maybe we'll get into that next week.
Trump the must people's mental state, man.
Anything he says, they got to do the opposite. Anything he says, bro. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna wrap it up there. We appreciate everybody. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share this video with your friends. Please help us spread this community. Don't forget, if you want to sign up and become a member of the Patreon, support what we do, link is in the description. CashApp link is in the description. Also, to get the merch, that link is in the description. If you want to get tickets to our show, go to citywinery.com/Philadelphia. November 1st, performing there. Come see us live. Other than that, we appreciate everybody. See everybody next week. Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people in, ooh.